Hey guys, Beast Force here, and welcome back to my Phineas and Ferb breakdown. I will be doing 10 episodes this breakdown up to Thanks But No Thanks to It's No Picnic, which is another Finabella episode. After that is the Kimplu, some 11-minute episodes, the Second Dimension sequel, and the last of the 11-minute episode, and then we get to more specials, more 11-minute episode which takes place after the summer, and also an Alka-File spin-off and Act Your Age. There have been a lot of Phineas and Ferb episodes that provided the jokes which can play up to the strengths of these episodes. There has been a lot of meta jokes throughout the season, including season 4 and the previous season, as it doesn't reference as much compared to this season. And that includes the fourth wall jokes in this show, including people looking at the camera or referencing real life jokes. And that includes a never ending formula, gags, the real life jokes, real life celebrities that we mentioned, and the songs that also appeared mainstream. Meta jokes isn't a bad thing. It has been overused in this show multiple times in many episodes, for example. There are times it can work, and there are times like people will get fed up with it, but it doesn't really do my head in a bit. And it's not just Phineas and Ferb. Other shows as well, including The Amazing World of Gumball and the sequel show The Weird World of Gumball. And it's mostly done because of meta jokes, as we've seen it as I recently watched. Sometimes meta jokes can be overused at times, but it can be saved because of clever writing, clever animation, and a clever art style will actually make a lot of sense put together. I will try to find many meta jokes as I can in this breakdown video. A couple of days ago, it was announced and put in as Perry the Platypus and Doodle are in Fortnite, as you can play them now. If this is your first breakdown and you're curious to know how the rating system was, there's a detailed description down below, along with my other videos that also had the link with the description down below in my playlist. Anton Gabor and Kaz wrote an episode called Thanks But No Thanks, premiered on September the 13th, 2013 on Disney Channel US. After learning about Monty and Vanessa's secret relationship, Carl bribes Monty into helping him get some much needed acknowledgement from Monogram, while Dr. Doodle creates his inflatinator to try to silence his neighbor who plays the bagpipes every day. Meanwhile, Candace is ecstatic when she discovers that her neighbor Peggy McGee has witnessed all of Phineas and Ferb's summer antics and is happy to tell Mom about it, but she is gone every time she tries to bring Mom to her. And we start with the coffee shop. We've seen that since season 3 in Sipping of the Enemy.
Yeah, I'm glad we ran into each other.
Literally, you barely missed me with your scooter.
That's a reference to how Asami met Marco, with a similar how Marco run into her scooter. Side note, Opal, Toph's granddaughter and Isabella Garcia Shapiro on Phineas and Ferb are both voiced by Alison Stoner.
Seen Love Sandal. It's a Love Handle cover band that is in sandals.
When I first watched this, I thought it was made up, but it's actually turned out to be true when we see in the end.
My cousin plays bass. You wanna come?
No.
And that is the first kiss of Monty and Vanessa, and that wasn't that a long kiss, it was actually a short kiss.
Kissing.
And he knows Monty and Vanessa are going out with each other, as he saw it within the binoculars in My Sweet Ride.
Don't have to tell my dad about this, do you?
Dad is my superior. I should tell him everything.
Even if you do, you will still be an unpaid intern.
Please, we need to consider such a dereliction of duty.
Want your father to disown you and adopt me. They do all the work at the agency, didn't even acknowledge me.
I agree. He does actually has a point. Every time he does something good, Major Monogram either gets mad at him or angry, or he just disbelief about it.
Simple thank you. Was that too much to ask?
Say thank you.
Simple thank you.
Could get dad to say thank you to you.
That is not going to be easy. You're going to have to work extra hard or something spectacular to do it.
You can just forget to mention the whole dating a sworn enemy's daughter thing.
I can live with that if Monty Monogram will agree. That would be a deal.
Deal.
I just said the same thing. Am I Monty Monogram right now?
We'll picture Grandma and Grandpa Flynn in their pyramid water skiing days.
And that's what they're going to do in this episode, Pyramid Sports. You can see the Grandpa Flynn and Grandma Flynn next to the top of the flower girl right here.
Pyramids would make any sport better. So I know what we're gonna do today.
That's a crazy way to say that with the microphone. I look at Ferb covering his ears. I put it up to 30 because I missed the counter from the Mission Marvel.
Oh, hey, Candace. Said, hey, Candace.
How come Candace can't hear, but I can with the audience listening?
It'll go away in a sec.
Oh, Candace, right on sketch. Heavens no, dear. I've been here all summer.
That lady right here is Peggy McGee, and she's voiced by Goldie Hawn. If anyone knows Goldie Hawn from a lot of television roles and films, and her partner has been Kurt Russell since 1983, and her daughter is Kate Hudson. And that's her first credible acting role for 11 years, as the last project is The Bang Sisters in 2002, and her last project in television appearance is Laugh-In.
Your brothers build so many amazing things every day.
Every day is kind of a stretch. We've seen some episode where Phineas and Ferb did nothing in one episode and other locations.
You were saying?
They built that roller coaster spa, an octopus-themed restaurant, and get a reservation. The bouncer was so hard.
Bouncer? You mean Buford?
Home sitcom.
I wasn't even here.
What do you mean sitcom? Is it the Out of 2 one where they go up and danced away?
You gotta come down here and tell my mom all about it.
I just don't feel up to leaving the house.
I thought someone was kidnapping her in the house trying to keep her captured, but it turned out she's involved in the pyramid scheme as she does get arrested towards the end.
Where's Perry?
And you can see Perry's checking his watch as he's been waiting for a long time for a mission briefing.
It's wonderful to see you.
Don it with honor. OWCA. That's their logo.
Long. Hand me that report there, would you? Hey, coffee. Thanks, Monty.
And that's got off to a very bad start. He's faking Monty, not Carl, for handling his books, which is kind of concerning for the first part.
The trash chute is clogged again, dear. Dad. Oh, so he is.
I like Perry's especially, like, it's been minutes or hours since he's waiting.
He repeatedly shaking his fist, definitely cliche.
Just like when you're not saying thanks to your unpaid intern.
From his cartoon convention.
You can see many Perry the Platypus spinning around as he got his jetpack, just like how Diana Prince transformed into Wonder Woman as she spins around too. And the song is called Pyramid Sports, sung by none other than Robbie Wackoff again, who did the previous song Feeling Froggy, and now this song in this episode. Phineas and Ferb and Isabella in the grass doing a triangle, while Phineas's face is a triangle. Only Ferb, Isabella, Buford, and Irving are the only characters not to speak in this episode. And there's the first front face Phineas in this breakdown video. And they're playing pyramid sports as they're going to do other sports with pyramids, including soccer, football, whatever other sport. You can see in the pyramid score, Phineas and Ferb, Buford, Balchi, Isabella there. And there's the Fireside Girls, and there's Millie there, and she's not going to appear for the rest of the part of the song. I really like how they're trying different things with pyramid sports with all of that. That is so dangerous but crazy. There's that giant floating baby head. You see these people in the pyramid sport, you see the same design actually used twice. Archery with pyramid sport, there's Pedro and there's Brittany from the bottom left.
Here is into pyramid sports.
These are different type of pyramid sport. I'd like someone to do that in real life.
Sigmoid Colin.
We start off seeing the guy with the bagpipes with Doofer Evil Incorporated. Watch Doofer annoyed by him.
No!
He looks like he's trying to snipe him, but he's trying to deflate his inator.
Funny, Perry the Platypus. Very funny. Out of the way. See, now you're just being childish.
Man, Perry the Platypus is trolling, and I love it.
Stop that guy from playing his bagpipes 24 hours a day. On what planet?
I would be annoyed if that played outside of my house, but I'm not annoyed as much as I did.
I inflate-inator!
We didn't get the dramatic music while he said inator.
The opposite of my old deflate-inator.
And I like this reference too, the inflate-array, which used to be called before we called inator and stuff. That's a callback to the Fast and the Furious.
Car alarms and babies crying and inator's blowing up.
That's what I hear, Doof, every time I'm inside the house. I always hear music every summer from the other neighbors, but I don't really complain about it.
You let me know.
Penny, did you say something, dear?
I do have sympathy for Candace, but you could have kept Linda on top of the ladder and just wait until the lady explains everything. That could have been better.
Absolutely delicious.
Carl found it.
Well then, thank you. To the chef.
I really feel bad for Carl. I really like how Monty trying, but Major Monograms keep bluffing and he's faking the chef.
Welcome
So glad you enjoyed it.
You recognize that voice? It's Gordon Ramsay, aka the chef. You'll know a guy who cooks a lot of times and shows anger.
Listen. Fuck off. Get out!
Thing you wanted to say to Carl?
Was I thinking? Don't be rude, Carl. Oh, thank the chef.
I really feel bad for Monty. He's trying to get Major Monogram to say thank you to Carl, but it's not happening.
To show my gratitude, dessert is on the house.
You can tell that's Gordon Ramsay. Imagine the swearing as well.
I must go and fire a member of staff.
Vincenzo, come here!
Yeah, that is definitely Gordon Ramsay. How can you tell? He gets angry all the time.
Pay attention, Carl. You could learn something.
Just chill out. I got another idea.
As Perry got hit by the inflator, you get to see he's starting to inflate of his body as he becomes like a fat person like that. Look at how he inflates bigger. That is so funny. You spoke way too soon, Doofenshmirtz.
He's gonna get his helipad installed.
Perry's doing the stats like this just like a sumo wrestler. We see the same thing in every episode where Perry fights Doofenshmirtz with his skills and he beats him. But I really like this. This is creative.
No need to swear. I'm coming. Honey, Candace, I could swear your old lady.
Candace, just let her stand there and just wait for the old lady to peek out outside the window. That's just easier.
We take a timeout.
And Perry the Platypus deflates back into normal thanks to his hat. Reminds me when Perry the Platypus was fired by the Alternator, but Perry the Platypus actually has a suit which actually rips it off.
There's a pressure release valve? Yay! Nader bites the dust.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll stop. I didn't realize I was disturbing.
I think Doofenshmirtz could have done that, but Perry the Platypus did, and he tells him to make sure to stop. Well, Perry the Platypus is very intelligent.
I've overthought that solution.
I'm not sure if Perry touched him. Maybe he fell just like this, but he's inflated, so he will be okay.
Once you saved my dad's life, no way even he could avoid thanking you for it.
If Major Monogram doesn't say thank you, he's more of an arsehole than he is.
Noticed a grand piano dangling precariously over our table.
Couple of violins over there. Suit myself and cut the rope, and you push my dad out of the way of the falling piano. Got it?
He's not just doing it to protect his secret relationship with Vanessa until season 5 of the revival. He's just doing this to make sure Carl gets the thank you.
Thank you for not making us wait.
He just keeps saying thank you to his son.
Mints and some floss,
Watch out, sir!
Are you all right?
Can you imagine Major Monogram gets hurt or got killed by that? Oh boy, that would be Monty's fault.
Carl, you saved my dad's life.
Couldn't save the table, too.
Seriously?
He's faking the table. Man, I really don't blame Monty for going anxious on him.
Aren't you going to thank him, Dad?
Thank you, Carl.
I feel like Monty could have been Pacific earlier like them before, but I don't really blame him for losing patience for like that, so yeah.
Yes! Lady, mom.
I'd like to remain silent. Anything you say.
Take your hands off me.
You could have told her earlier if Linda was standing there instead of bringing her in or out, but this is what happens.
Sorry, Candace.
What's going on?
Sweet old lady is Peggy the Pyramid McGee, leader of Danville's biggest pyramid scheme.
I think that could be the reason why Phineas and Ferb are doing pyramid sport, because of her influence.
She's been selling these all over town. Just flat triangles painted in perspective.
So she did scam people by making triangles than the pyramids, so okay, I understand.
That's fraud.
Time her mom serves pie.
Pyramid scheme right under our noses.
And they don't see the big ideas, which is actually the 9th time Candace doesn't see it. And this is the 4th time that the big idea reappears after Linda leaves. Again, they should have turned around. In Katu, Candace in the song Beautiful Day, she mentioned about pyramid sport, but she never actually saw it. I'm going to presume Phineas and Ferb told her about it. Love Sandal tonight. Looks like it is a small concert.
Hey.
Hey, yourself. Yeah, so did I, but leave you here to suffer alone.
Thoughtful and dismissive simultaneously.
They are such a great couple, man. It's such a shame that they're gonna break up eventually. It's about when are they gonna break up.
Is that the love sandal?
And that's the 4th time he said that. Hey, is that Love Handle? Hey, is that the Balgeo? Hey, is that Tiny Cowboy? And now this. First of the ratings, and the plot will start off with a 2. Plot A focused most of the part of Candace talking to Peggy McGee about the invention that she saw, but it turned out she was arrested for a pyramid scheme as Phineas and Ferb and the gang was having fun with the pyramid sports. Plot B focused on Duther with his neighbor doing the Scottish anthem, which actually annoyed him, so he's gonna inflate his inhaler, but his plan ultimately failed once again as Perry the Platypus defeats him without any effort. While Plot C focused on mostly on Monty Monogram with his relationship with Vanessa, as Carl knows it since My Sweet Ride, so the only way to return him the favor is for Major Monogram to say thank you, as Monty tried so many times which failed, as he successfully did in the end by getting crushed by the piano, as it was close, as Monty and Vanessa's secret relationship are still together no matter what. Characterization would get a solid 5. Everyone is very consistent in this episode, despite Phineas and Ferb again not seen as much as they do Pyramid Sport, as Candace talked to Peggy McGee, as that's only her only appearance in this episode, as she never saw it again, as she is arrested. Do her apparently same as usual, but it's nice to see Monty Monogram getting more about what he's been with Vanessa and Carl, as it's mostly focused around him for the second time since Undercover Carl, mostly West Perry Part 1 and 2 because he was evil. It's nice for Carl for getting credit at this time after saving Major Monogram for getting crushed into the piano, even though Major Monogram has been a jerk at times. That is what his character is. Visuals will get a 4. There are some solid visuals in this episode with the Pyramid Sports song montage. Also, Perry the Platypus and Duther infiltrate as they fight each other. Not as much. Focus on Monty and Carl, even though there's some good designs, animation, locations there. Not as much, but it's still very good. Importance, I'm gonna give it a 3. I know it's not as important as it is. The main reason is because Vanessa and Monty's relationship, which continues the trend. Not as much as build up in this episode, but that's the reason why, as well as Carl as well. Entertainment will get a 5. 19 out of 25. That is a pretty good start to this breakdown, this video so far. The jokes are good, the interactions are very good, the song of the Pyramid Sport is very good. A lot of things to enjoy. 1 down, 9 to go. The second episode of this breakdown is called Troy's Story, written by Michael Diedrich and Michael B. Singleton. Premiered on September the 20th, 2013 on Disney Channel US. Inspired by Candace's book club selection, the Iliad, the boys reenact the Trojan War, but with a Phineas and Ferb twist. Meanwhile, Perry discovers that Duther has a major problem with throwing things away so that he can help him find a declutterator.
Hey, Candace, I'm a reading I see.
It's for the book club Jeremy and I joined. Same book, and then we get together and discuss over tea.
Which we're going to see in the end, but we've proven the point.
The Iliad.
And there's actually a real life book called the Iliad. Sorry for mispronouncing in the intro.
All about the Trojan War.
Not the only one with a book club, you know.
Ferb, make a note of that.
And that's the second time he said that since Candace's big day.
I'm gonna have her plan my wedding. Ferb, make a note.
I got it. Paris fell in love with Helen of Troy.
And it turned out to be true. Helen did love Troy in Paris, but it ended tragically after 10 years after Troy died.
It's so romantic. Ships with her face.
And it turned out to be true. He is actually the hero of the Trojan War, who is known as the greatest of the all Greek warriors.
The greatest Greek warrior of all time.
Looks like Buford has read the book. Despite being the bully, he is smart.
This big fight with Hector. Check it out. Think about a wooden horse.
And yeah, this is going to be based around a real life story, which is going to be fun.
Huge wooden horse, and like outside the gates of Troy. Greeks had given up, and that the horse was some sort of tribute to them.
I did my research and it turned out to be true, as the Greeks actually surrendered. They should have just burned the Trojan horse, as it's made out of wood.
Try imagining a larger door. Greeks climbed out of the horse, opened the gate. Damn, stab, stab, stab.
They can't show that because Phineas and Ferb is a Disney show at the time. But there was one episode in Amphibia where Marcy got stabbed.
Book club is in 3 hours.
Wow, she must be a fast reader.
Well, Candace did read the whole book while Isabella was having fun.
The Trojan War takes so long.
Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today. We're gonna finally recreate the Trojan War.
And that was also a callback from I Scream and You Scream, reference that they intended to do that, but it had to be put on hold because Isabella had having her tonsils removed.
Name starts with a P.
Oh, and because her starts with I, which is right after 8.
No, it's Helen.
I'm chicken fat.
I play?
No!
I've got baklava.
I'm going to put in the screen to show you what baklava is. It's layered pastry dessert made filled with fellow pastry.
It's history and historical reenactment. Where's your dad?
And it makes sense because Lawrence did watch 12 hours of gladiator movies in Grease Lightning in season 1.
Down through. Oh, lovely.
And this entrance is very similar and it's in Alice and Wanderer, which is a book of period including the Mock Turtle and the Jabberwocky.
Rabbit hole entrance. Freaks the heck out of it. Any news from Team Cockroach?
Team Cockroach? You mean Agent C or Agent C's? That is an awkward sound effect as it goes back to Goth, which is funny.
Say Rome wasn't built in a day.
And I really love the design of the castle, and it looks painted and textured right here with the squiggly lines and all of that. This looks very detailed.
Supposed to be Troy.
If what you are looking for is impenetrable.
Or is decimate.
It's funny that 2 episodes all uses awkward sound effects like that, which is funny.
We're gonna need a bigger army.
And that's a reference to Jaws, as someone said, we're gonna need a bigger boat.
Break out my recruiting Fostanola.
The little Greek skirt.
It's a Fostanola.
There are a lot of new things that I don't understand back in the day when I first watched it. After doing research, I kinda understand it now.
Wait, hello?
Look at the things that Doofus had. The shield, a headgear, all of that. He has a lot of them.
I got you.
Of all the stuff that I've collected over the last 40 years.
For 40 years? Doofus, aren't you 47 because Roger mentioned it once?
Out of hand. Norm's been in Maui for like a month.
Norm doesn't appear in this episode, but the next episode, he does have a love interest.
Declutterinator.
With it, which would make me want to unclutter everything, and then I lost it because, it's really cluttered in here.
Young lady named Doreen to help me get organized. Us too. I haven't seen her in days.
Maybe because you're kinda lazy of doing things and rely on ventures to clean up, which you could have built another one.
So thirsty.
She has been out for days, so that means she must be thirsty. Oh, poor Doreen.
I have to get back to my search for Doreen. Hey, Doreen! Marco!
There are many people play hide and seek and say Marco. We've seen that many times in many animation shows.
Name?
Balthazar Horowitz.
And we do actually know his name as Bolfowitz, but that's actually his full name as he has a surname now.
The Ball Pit Kid.
We've seen this kid a couple of times in a lot of episodes while Perry the Platypus was controlling Lawrence as a robot and he sees him as an agent and his memory got erased.
I have a perforated A.
Yeah, you're in.
Dimitri Papanikolaou.
And we see him in many episodes too, like the Ball Pit Kid.
I am Greek. I was born on the island
I don't want your life story.
Come on, Buford. You know Greece people know about the Trojan War.
Goddess, the anger of Peleus' son. And its devastation which put pains upon the Achaeans.
She really is going to sleep. Maybe you need tea or water to clean your eyes.
Oh, for Pete's sake. What the heck is going on out here?
It's bigger than the Flynn Fletcher's house, and I really like how the flag's moving as well to keep the perspective going.
Are you by any chance reenacting the Trojan War?
It's the plan.
Okay. To you guys and take notes for my book club.
And this is one of the few episodes where Candace doesn't bust Phineas and Ferb because of the book club.
Why don't you come on down here?
I am going down there. God for me.
Get him! In hot chariot, sucker!
Baljeet fell for the bait and now he's gonna get caught by a chariot. And the song is called Troy, sung by none other than Dan Pover as the Trojan soldier and a horse. How can you tell it's Dan Pover? Because he is using Candace's wild parsnip voice. I really like how we visioned the Trojan War as they use a boat and all of that.
I got mad cause that just was
And there's Irving's brother, Albert, and he speaks in this episode as you can hear it.
mad cause that just was and I got mad cause that just wasn't right.
That lyric is inaccurate. It was actually his brother Malleus who got mad and declared war. And that has been accurate. The Trojan War lasted for 10 years. You can see Irving is actually ripped. Accurate or not, at least the kids are having fun with the Trojan War, which is amazing. And they're using steaky clothes. I'm glad they're using that instead of other thing else, otherwise it would have been dark. I know some people say, why is Ferb holding the bagpipe solo? It's because Ferb actually has a Scottish cousin. We've seen that in season 2.
Pipes are sort of anachronistic for this time. Quiet.
Even the bagpipe solo is inaccurate in the Troy story, which makes no sense. Even Buford knows and tells them to be quiet. They're still using swords and shields, but they're using it to make it safe as they use attack for balloons. At least it's better than the real life thing.
Should have brought some breadcrumbs or something to leave behind.
Maybe you could have built a tracking system in here and find her. He could have got out anytime soon, but I remember in Master of Fate that Perry buys some time to learn about the evil plan before he gets out of the trap. Another instance that why Perry the Platypus is so smart.
Oh, at the book club.
I've got a fella like a lesson.
It's time to execute Plan B. You climb into the decoy and
You're gonna need a bigger Trojan horse to get there, just like in real life in the history. A large wooden platypus. You better make sure that works, Buford.
Come on, Buford. What makes you think we'd fall for that?
Ow! Why did you help me get in this thing?
They didn't fall for that, but at least they had the wooden dinosaur.
We're getting somewhere.
Ah! Trojan T-Rex with laser cannon, multi laser eyes coming.
I don't remember lasers being in the Trojan War.
Well, he's got me there. Now, Ferb, destroy Troy.
As they use green laser cannon, you get to see it covers in a semicircle as it cuts open. As you get to see it destroys it as it gets covered in that green aura before it dissipates.
Hang on.
I know this is so inaccurate, but I really like how the kids making new creative ways to do it.
Laser-proof. Nice touch, Ferb.
And we see a frame of Phineas and Isabella, another Finabella breadcrumb. I'm glad they didn't forget this in season 4.
Book club starts in 10 minutes.
And she doesn't bust them at all in this episode, so yeah.
Throw that rope to the other chariot.
The newer T-Rex's weakness is also its Achilles heel.
And this scene is very similar to the Empire Strikes Back, how the snowmobile wrap around the legs of the AT-80, knocking it down, destroying it.
That was awesome. I think it was a draw.
And they're back to their normal outfit instantly, which in part it bothers me a bit, but they do change.
Pick up some Greek frozen yogurt on the way.
Platypus, you found the declutterinator. Excellent. Oh, nice up. Oh, wait, what? It's not plugged.
Just like in Mission Marvel in my previous breakdown, as he was looking for the extended cord and he failed to do that on time.
What a mess.
And that's the third time that Lawrence got zapped by one of Doofus Mercenator, one from Bullseye and sipping with the enemy.
Nudge to declutter.
Edit. Get rid of the clutter. Doreen, what's happening?
Hearing from my lawyer.
Doreen is voiced by Leah Remini, and that won't be the last time she will be voicing in the show.
Curse you, Perry the Platypus.
There goes the last of it.
If Doofusmas didn't blast him with the Anita, Phineas and Ferb would have been busted, but not by Candace, anonymously because of the mess they made.
What are you doing out here?
Just tidying up a little.
I've got a plate of cake that needs cleaning up.
I'm your man.
Lawrence and Linda are a very good married couple together. We've seen recent episodes.
To go first.
Ooh, me! Secret Platypus was a brilliant idea until it got smashed by the T-Rex. Its use of laser to destroy the city of Troy really seemed unbeatable until Paris flew down in his laser chariot. The flying chariots were all pew, 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 and ew.
This is funny that Jeremy's looking at the book knowing that Candace is making that all up thanks to Phineas and Ferb's invention. And they didn't read the book.
You didn't read the book, did you?
I'm so busted.
That's the second time she said that since Meat Plus in Seattle in season 3.
Think anyone did?
I just come to book club for the tea.
Same, Stacy. If I was going to the book club or any club, I would just go there for the food. That's it. The plot will start off with a 2. I really love both plots in this episode, including Phineas and Ferb and the gang trying to recreate the Trojan War, with the song being a straight banger. And even though it's pretty inaccurate at times, it is very fun in their own perspective, and they did it in a very good time. And Candace is learning because of she has to go to book club, even though I really like plot C as well, as Doofus trying to clean up, get his things organized as Doreen got lost. As it turned on, the Anita actually hit Lawrence as he actually cleaned up the place, as Doofus did hit the Anita. It turned out the top of his apartment was destroyed, as Doreen wants to see Doofus as she will call her lawyer. Once again, Doofus' plan failed. Characterization will get a 5. It's just consistency, is all I gotta say, as Phineas and Ferb and the gang have a fun recreating the Trojan War, Candace reading for the book club, even though Jeremy and his friends didn't read the book, and different Perry as usual. Everywhere else is very good. Visuals? I'll give it a 5. 5 can be a bit of a strip, but looking at it, the song was very good with the montage of the Trojan horse. The kids are having fun. They're using slow speeds like from Star Wars, which we see in the end. Lois is cleaning up and stuff. Also, Doofer and his NATO actually cause destruction towards the end with his apartment destroyed. Everything else is very well paced so far. Also, the designs of Phineas and Isabel becoming Helen and Troy, and the rest of them using a shield and a sword, which is great. Importance is a 2. Even though the importance is a 2, it was referencing Candace Against the Universe as the latest episode to be mentioned, as many of them have been posters or other references. You can watch Candace Against the Universe if you want to. It's 5 for entertainment. 19 out of 25 is a total score. The Trojan War is very interesting. The song was very good. Really like how things turned out to be very well. 2 down, 8 to go. The third episode of this breakdown video is called Love at First Bite, written by Eddie Pittman and J.G. Oratel, which was premiered on August 2nd, 2013 on Disney Channel US. When Mom becomes overwhelmed by organizing a block party, she asks Phineas and Ferb for their help in making the party's finale memorable. Meanwhile, Candace plans to bust her brother, but their team up with Mom throws a bit of a wrench into her situation. Over the block party, Difference tries to set up Norm up with a female robot, but Norm's nervousness gets the best out of him.
This area has been flooded.
I understand.
How's the setup coming for the big block party? Thing we can do to help?
Oh, that's sweet, boy.
Linda is still oblivious about what Phineas and Ferb do, but Phineas and Ferb will do anything to help anyone.
At the beignet bus.
What about a laser light show?
Budget and a list of companies that do light shows. Can you just handle it for me?
We just did the light show ourselves.
Imagine Linda stay with the boys. Can you imagine though? But Phineas and Ferb are gonna plan it for themselves.
I know what we're gonna do today. I mean tonight.
And front face Phineas and...
Can you guess what my DJ costume is?
I could already guess, Lawrence, but you can be a jester.
A scary post-apocalyptic hand puppet?
Mardi Gras jester.
Looks like I got it correct, but Mardi Gras jester. But I got the jester part right.
Where's Perry?
Hello there, Agent P. Well, that doof is planning on attending tonight's festivities. I realize that's a double negative.
Well, the irony in the Great Balls of War that Doofer did build a double negative in it all.
Since your surveillance will take place in close proximity to your host.
Disguise for the duration of your mission.
It makes sense because he doesn't want to get his cover blown again, unless it's Stacy.
Hydraulic costume chamber. You look adorable as a balloon animal.
For real, he looks like he has 4 eyes and a big beak.
Laissez-les bon temps rouler.
And that means let the good times roll, which is in French.
I'm stuck working the slushy dog concession, busy with preparations. So preoccupied with the party, we haven't done anything remotely bustable all day.
Every time you say that, you're gonna go into busting mode. Every time.
Robot insect count?
Oh, I'm back in the game.
As soon as she saw something big is gonna happen, she's going to busting mode straight away. Didn't work last time as you went to book club.
What horrors did I just unleash? It's...
Front face Phineas again, and that sound effect again from the previous episode, like, woo!
It's
Huge impossible.
I like how Stacy looks away while Phineas is looking at Stacy while Candace trying to get Mom.
Okay, Norm, you ready to head out to the black party? Don't tell me you're still bummed out about not having a date.
And this is the 5th episode that will focus around Norm, which is great.
Yes, I am. Dress up like a wild forest creature with antlers?
Kinda feel bad for Norm after everything he's been through, treated by Doofus went badly.
Hello? I think I may have come to the wrong address.
That is not a meta joke which I mentioned in the intro earlier, but it's a cutaway gag.
It's popcorn machine or a blender or something.
Add me a popcorn machine.
That's why I will go for every time, food and stuff.
They're working on the big finale for the block party tonight. Ask the boys to help out with the finale for the party.
On purpose?
On purpose. I really need the help.
Looks like Candace's chance of busting her brothers has gone out the window very quickly because of Linda, advising them to help.
Get the job done.
Situation unbustable.
Ooh, twist.
I was about to say that, Stace, but you beat me to it. I don't know whether they're a bit smaller or larger. They do look a bit weird in this frame.
Or Flazer, for short.
Just use fireworks. Isn't that tradition?
Unless it's the 4th of July, which makes any sense, but really, Buford?
It's way cooler without the danger of losing a digit. Hey, Ferb, you're creeping me out.
Look at Ferb doing a finger and no finger. Look at that. That is a cool trick we see with Farm No Found, like in real life.
Situation unbustable.
Come on, Chuckles.
I found it funny that Stacy called her Chuckles, as Candace can't let go of the busting urge. And you can hear people in the toilet saying occupy, even though Perry the Platypus in the balloons bouncing everywhere.
Okay, you see that cute popcorn machine over there? Opening line?
Pretty hot oil pan.
That's what I do when I greet people.
You got game now.
Hey, there's Mike, the guy who was sending ice cream to Bao G and the gang. And there she is, Chloe. The robot is created by none other than the other evil pharmacist is in Love Muffin. Looks like Norm doesn't find loneliness anymore. He has found a love that someone can match.
Inner circuitry seems to be overloading.
And Doofer acknowledges straight away that Norm's looking at the robot girl, aka Chloe. And there's Susie and Jack Johnson.
I think you got a chance with her if you play your cards right.
If she has an oil pan to compliment.
Just yourself and, ask her what her sign is.
There are times that Norm has been treated garbage by Doofenshmirtz so many times, but in this episode, Doofenshmirtz has become very supportive of Norm falling in love with Chloe, and I like that.
Sir?
Go get her, Norm.
I really like how Doofenshmirtz being so supportive to Norm because he's falling in love with Chloe.
Hi, I'm Norm.
And Norm introduces to Chloe by saying his name, and there's Isabella's mom and dad walking by.
I am Chloe. I am a Pisces.
Chloe is a Pisces, so she likely created between February the 19th and March the 20th, before the summer. And she is voiced by Jennifer Wong, who's known for doing commercial voices for other things. Norm is giving eye contact away as he's walking away. He could be shy or nervous about Chloe.
What to do if she is a Pisces?
She get married, subsequently divorced, but we don't have time for that.
That is part of your life story, Doofenshmirtz. Maybe Norm can go a different way.
Can I? Thanks.
Looks like the Bold Pig Kid remembers. We did that in the last video in this breakdown that he did appear in Troy's story, and now he got a balloon because of Perry the Platypus.
Interest and try to find something in common.
Women really like it when you challenge them and act all superior.
That does not seem logical.
At times it does. Norm, you do need to riz her.
Get to stay cool.
My compressor is from a refrigeration unit.
If you've noticed any evil activity from Doofenshmirtz, there's a...
Typical Major Monogram with the poor timing. We see that many episodes of Phineas and Ferb, and one in Milo Murphy's Law where Major Monogram steps in as Doofenshmirtz does all the damage in Jefferson County, causing Perry the Platypus and Doofenshmirtz to split up.
You could tell me he was sitting right there.
What is your prime directive?
Competency is dancing.
Competency is being superior and challenging those whose core competency is dancing.
Even though they're robots, Chloe and Norm have the same goals, but will Norm officially riz her?
I accept your challenge.
Looks like Norm's got her attention, and there's Dan and Swampy right there.
Me, but now I am nervous.
Just gotta get out of your own head.
Get out there on the dance floor and stretch your stuff, honey G.
I really like how Doofenshmirtz doesn't get angry at Norm for missing his opportunity with Chloe. He's like, go out there and show yourself. I really like how he's been supportive.
Parents, kids. Giant. Oh, wow, that's our cue. Time to fire up the blazer, guys.
I can still see front face Phineas. You're not catching me that high. As the light show begins, you get to see it's popping different types of colors as it's glowing with a yellow aura as it goes into different colors up in the sky as it reflects down towards the place right here as they're having the festival. As everyone else is covered in colors like the effects of it. It was pretty cool. Okay.
Hey! Finally be an accountant!
Oh, look at these cats. This is awesome.
That's like a lot of cats.
Luckily for me, I do have a cat at home, which is so cute. And it's a ginger. The song is called Robot Love Song as Norm and Chloe dance together. And this is actually Norm's final song of the original one until the new Norm in the Venpocalypse, the musical, which I already did a breakdown of. You can see the lines behind Chloe as she's dancing.
I spike up my metal spine for mainframe.
Norm is a very good dancer, as well as Chloe, as we're going to see more. Chloe's doing some weird moves and I love it. That's how robots go. She is twerking as well. She is kinda horny for him. The green circuit. I've seen these background before, but I can't remember which episode. Look at these moves from Norm. He is rizzing her, and Doofer is happy too. I really like how the dance moves is creative, even though they're robots. I really like it.
Glasses, everyone.
And that is Isabella's only line this episode, just like many other episodes in the past couple of seasons. And they're giving them safe glasses to make sure they don't go blind. And there's Ginger giving glasses to her sister, Stacy. Be careful of the brightness because it's gonna hurt your eyes and it comes red.
I've got to go and thank the boy.
How did it land it perfectly? This makes no sense at all.
Exceeded my previous computations.
Had to get out of my own head.
And Norm has officially rizzed Chloe. Way to go, Norm.
Lost to our two winners.
Smooth-tastic. Your new girl?
Why,
Chloe, what are you doing?
Rodney.
When I first watched this, I was thinking, who could Chloe be? And who the evil pharmacist is keeping an eye? And it turned out to be Rodney. This is actually his second last appearance in the original run of Rodney, because the next time he appears will be about changing a new Ice Age in Save Summer. And he will play a pivotal part on that.
Get you away from the rusted Romeo.
Would you come up with an insult?
Like Robot Rodeo, Doofer struggled to come with an insult until he destroyed his Aeneas like a baby.
Goodbye, Chloe.
It's a reference from Romeo and Juliet. Good night till it be morrow.
Eat her, Norm. She's a know-it-all.
Just like your relationship with anything else, do. And since Rodney has been in prison, I don't know what happened to Chloe after that. I really hope one day she reappears again in a revival.
Look, corn dogs.
I haven't ate corn dogs for a couple of weeks ago. Maybe I'll think about buying it once I'll do it.
Phineas, Ferb, you are so busted.
Did she legitimately bust Phineas and Ferb? You couldn't see the whole thing about the roller coaster stuff, but towels? Okay.
Wait. Phineas and Ferb?
My good, guess towels doing out here? And they're filthy.
Towels?
We'll clean them up.
Yeah, you get right on that.
That's how a real mom and dad would feel like if any kids would just leave stuff everywhere on the floor.
Have beignets.
So let me done this summer. You decide to yell at them for a few dirty towels?
Isn't that enough?
You make a mockery of my lifetime goal, Mom.
I know Candace wants to bust them for doing dangerous things, but take it or leave it. Alright, time to do the rating, and the plot will get a 2. I really like how both plot intertwine this episode, while Phineas and Ferb put in the light show for the block party, whilst Doofer convinced Norm to fall in love with Chloe, and even though they dance together, which is very, very good, and also the song was very good, I really like how Norm falls in love with Chloe, as they both interact very well, until we found out it was Rodney who built Chloe, and it turned out it was a shame, and we actually don't get to see her again. Overall, both plots that intertwine are so good. And also, Perry the Platypus didn't have to do much in this episode as he's only spying. That's it. Characterization will get another 5. The characterization from everyone is very consistent, including Phineas and Ferb, Candace, Stacy, and all the other characters. But the main focus is around Norm, who's falling in love with Chloe. I really like how they interact with each other, dance together, and have different personalities, even though with the same goal. And we don't get to see Chloe again, even though we haven't seen her in a while because Rodney's in prison. Visuals is a 4. It's not too spectacular. There are some solid visuals with the people walking around in the block party, the song with Norm and Chloe dancing with each other is amazing, the light show. Everything else was solid. 2 and 5 are for importance and entertainment. Another 18 out of 25. What do you expect? Nothing I can say that much apart from the formula which intertwines with the plot and the dancing with Norm and Chloe, as we don't actually going to see them again in the future, even though Norm's self-destruct. I wish we got to know how Chloe's reaction would feel when Norm self-destructed himself in the Vampocalypse season 5, but we're never going to get that answer. Edward Rivera and Michael Dietrich wrote an episode called One Good Turn, premiered on August the 9th, 2013 on Disney Channel US. Motivated by a movie with a strong heroine and also a cyber rivalry, Candace and Stacy are empowered to team up against rival groups and compete in Phineas and Ferb Ultimate Obstacle Course, Across town, Doofus plans to humiliate his brother, the mayor, by using a 90-degree Terminator on him so that he will accidentally insult the mayor of Stubblegimp and be forced to perform the shameful dance of contrition to make amends. And that's a reference to Bullseye, which first did it in Season 3, and Backyard Hodgepodge in Season 4.
Hodgepodges, or art pieces. It's like an obstacle course back here. That's it. I know what we're gonna do today.
As Phineas says his catchphrase, look how excited he is thanks to Buford's idea.
You said obstacle course.
I'm filled with remorse that we haven't, of course, even thought of building an obstacle course.
Our new tour de force.
The Tour de Force? That sounds like the Tour de Ferb, which the title's name in Season 3.
That is a plan I can clearly endorse.
It's rare to see Ferb speaking like that, but we did see him speak more a lot of episodes.
Of course. Of course, before it breaks into song. Where's Perry?
The headpiece and the staff connected that Perry did, which is a reference to Indiana Jones. I really love that you can see the model of the old WCA and Danville of the buildings. Looks cool.
Reports that the building has been rotating all morning.
It's neither major monogram, but Perry the Platypus will go to find out himself.
The reservation for 6 p.m. The very model of a modern major monogram, I think.
And that's a parody of the General song, as you can see, which I put in the screen, which is a reference to, it's a reference to Pirates of the Penzance. Gluttony Games, that's actually a parody version of the Hunger Games.
With mindless mayhem. So brave and fearless.
We'd make an awesome team. You and me.
Foreshadowing on what's going to happen later in this episode.
Of course we'd have to learn to shoot a bow and arrow.
Well, Green Arrow can teach you how to shoot a bow and arrow. And there's the obstacle that Phineas and Ferb built in the backyard as everyone was there, as Candace and Stacy are going to participate.
But holy cannoli! On here, Phineas and Ferb!
Welcome to the Phineas and Ferb Ultimate Obstacle Course.
I really like how detailed it is. The fire, the cylinders, the red balls and all that. It's cool.
Team that makes it all the way to the end, this nifty trophy.
To her so...
Win this.
Yeah, we can. Wait, what?
I want that trophy.
And they mentioned about each other earlier, a couple of seconds ago, about teaming up. And that's what's going to happen here.
Good, Ginger. We'll put it up here with the rest of your awards. You know, just in case.
Ginger must be 10 or 11, and she's achieved a lot as her mother is very proud. My only problem is with Stacy, she is kind of an underachiever like Candace, because maybe she's hanging around with her for too long, but hopefully that changed because she's hanging around with Perry the Platypus.
We'd make an awesome team for the trophy.
And for whatever it was you're thinking about just now.
Another episode focused around teamwork. We've seen that evident in Sidetrack, but this time with Stacy's point of view with Candace. I don't know why the evil and core is spinning around. It can make you dizzy.
That could be. Perry the Platypus. Gotcha!
Every time Doofus might tell him to do something, he always falls for the trap.
Having manners. Out my 90-degree Terminator. You know, it turns things.
Just like in Split Personality when people were facing the other way because he got NATO.
Back in Drussel's day. Just watch this documentary.
Week in History, 1602.
Another Phineas and Ferb episode includes Doofus doing a documentary, but this time it's not about him. Just like the Tri-State area and the Bi-State area connecting to each other and the adjacent area.
Accidentally turned 90 degrees. There is considered a Stumblegimpian insult. Stumblegimp was forced to follow tradition.
We're getting more lore about the Stumblegimp and Gimelstone, which is Drusselstein.
War was declared, but to retaliate. War escalated and raged on for 50 years. 50
years? My goodness me. Longer than World War I and World War II. Also longer than the Trojan War, which lasted for 10 years.
Was the mayor of Gimelstone to perform the Stumblegimp humiliating dance of contrition.
And that's the song we're going to hear, as it does get an updated version, as Aaron Jacobs sings a false German accent after Drusselstein driving test faults in Season 3. So you tell me they went on a war for 50 years because he couldn't perform the dance of contrition, and he showed that.
Hey, 6 chickens on your head.
Imagine dancing with chickens in your head and featherhead in your hands. That would be tough. Painting on the wall, at least he has his gear on, and it's similar to the mermaid reference. I really feel bad for the French viewers that find it offensive. It's just a joke. It's just for laughs. The mayor of Gimstrut put 9 numeral all over the word. As neuf means French for 9, then he says name, which is actually German for no, which is kind of confusing. He's juggling with pigs, he's doing all that stuff, it's very crazy.
On this bench, 'cause you're tired! Mayor of Stumblegimp was appeased. Who was right between the two cities? Or was it? The end!
So they've been in a war for 50 years because he couldn't do the dance of contrition, and he got humiliated by the mayor, and that's what led them to sign the peace. Okay.
And this newsreel was made about the 1600s. Was my brother the mayor is going to meet the present-day mayor of Stumblegimp.
Another mayor meets another mayor. That's going to be huge for the meetings or something.
Degrees which will insult Mayor.
With waffles, you'll have to sing that whole song. A feather bed or put a donut in his pants.
First to step down as mayor.
Step into his place, 100% donut pant free.
I have a feeling this is one of Doofenshmirtz's ridiculous plans, as I always see in every episode, that he tries to take over Danville by ridiculous scheme. Why won't you come up with a serious one?
Candace and Stacy.
I almost forgot, this is the second time that Ginger and Stacy are seen as sisters. The first one being in For Your Eyes Only, where Stacy was using the computer, but that takes place during the winter before that episode in the chronological order. And we see many episodes of Stacy and Ginger in many episodes, but we don't see them fully. So this is the first time we see Stacy and Ginger fully as the sisters.
What was that about?
Oh, that's our secret code for I love you, sis.
Get set, go!
And Buford and Bouchy are out the race already after a couple seconds, but they do get in the end once they steal the trophy.
You know what they say? Giant worms can do whatever they want.
I know there's a different type of obstacle course, but this sounds like fun.
Both remaining teams have made it to the beach.
Phineas mentioned about the beach. Remember you built one in season 1?
Jim may want to get to cover.
Cover?
Fun and stressful at the same time, but I really like how they're both being competitive.
Well, something is walking up to Roger.
The mayor chickening.
The mayor of Gimstrut is Mayor Chickenson. That is actually his real name, which is hilarious. And he's voiced by Billy Gardor. You know him for appearing in many shows, including Young Sheldon in 5 episodes.
Chicken and waffles. That's why I had waffles stuck in my head.
Waffles or waffles?
What is the meaning of?
I thought Mayor Roger was in trouble when I first watched it, but it turned out times have changed.
To declare war now.
Get the dance of contrition team out your pronto.
And Roger Doofenshmirtz also knows about the dance of condition, just like his brother. Looks like he's very smart. And everyone's dancing with the condition. As times change, as everyone enjoys it. More people are dancing, and there's people in the background you can realize Miss Sassy Kane and the Leaky Theophilopoulos is look-alike.
One day I gotta ask Norm what he did with my binoculars.
Maybe it has something to do with the previous episode, Doof.
Way up front.
As Isabel and Ginger are in the platform as they're going around from step to step, as you get to see they're keeping the momentum going by flipping around and going in the platform. Very slick.
Right down there. Jeet's suggestion.
Would not make it that fun. Well, not with an attitude like that.
Stacey and Candace should have gone together instead of Candace going alone and gaining momentum. But at least you landed in mud. Candace has a different mud covering her face, which is weird, which is an animation. As you see, the fan actually clears away the mud for Candace, which is pretty cool. I like that. I like you see the obstacle course closely, as you get to see all the items there, all the places of the obstacle course around is cool. She said, I regret nothing. That's also what Buford said in Claudia the Chance of Mom, the first couple episodes of season 5.
I regret nothing.
Your mom's favorite word, pie.
And Isabella and Ginger take the lead.
Improved dance of contrition always makes you want to shake a leg.
That was not nearly humiliating enough. Where were the piglets?
That's since the 40s when we made the newsreel about the 1600s.
Things have changed.
Just like many things in real life, sometimes you need decades to change, and we've seen that evident here. Doofenshmirtz, you will learn change once you go to Drusselstein again in season 5. Looks like they fell into the mud as Candace and Stacy wins. Maybe because they're teenagers, which is gain the advantage, but Isabella and Ginger are more skillful.
Candace and Stacy win! What about the giant gorilla hand? My bad.
You could have done that earlier, Phineas, you troll, but overall, they both won.
Everyone's a winner, but
Stacy, we won! Congratulations, Stacy.
I like how Stacy and Candace doesn't rub it in their face, as well as Ginger and Isabella too being salty. I like how they both respect each other and play fair for the trophy.
I have a trophy. I won all those trophies just trying to impress you. You're the coolest big sister a girl could ever have. How can I compete?
That is so sweet that Ginger is very nice to her older sister and doesn't fight about it. This is what makes the characterization of Phineas and Ferb great.
I'll take that. That does it. It's busting time.
I can't really blame Candace for that. If you take the trophy away, you just set her off like that.
I please speak with you.
Oh, how rude!
This makes no sense, but Roger Doofenshmirtz actually did the dance of contrition, which is the reason why he doesn't get slapped. Agent P didn't need to do anything and he just pressed the self-destruct button while still being trapped.
Hey, who wants to go to Alabama?
You could just go around it and check in the backyard or something, but they don't do nothing, which is dumb and stupid, but oh well, that is part of the show right here.
Hi, boys. Candace, this is getting old.
But...
Alright, for the plot, and it will get a 2. I really love both sides of the plot as Candace and Stacy watch a movie as they have planned into teaming up together as they do by contesting against Ginger and Isabella along with Buford and Balji, and they did a lot of obstacle course while Phineas and Ferb did the commentary, and they managed to do it and won the trophy. But I really like how Ginger's happy for her sister Stacy until Buford and Balji stole it. And plot B focus on the dance of contrition about the mayor of Gimmershoek to the other mayor about the documentary about it, as Doofenshmirtz planned to make sure that Mayor Rogers get humiliated so he could do the dance of contrition, but actually it turned out to be the other way around as Roger was prepared for this, which labels Doofenshmirtz's failure once again. Characterization will get a 5. Everyone is very consistent just like always, as we get to see Ginger impressed with Stacy for winning the trophy, as she did it for her, as there are no bitterness, no angry, it's just that them competing for each other, which makes it great. And we see Roger Doofenshmirtz more as we get to see he does the dance of contrition, as he is very intelligent of knowing everything, as Doofenshmirtz tried to take over the tri-state era. Everything else was the same. Visuals, I'm going to give it a 4. I was thinking about giving it a 5, but there are a lot of things that impressed me a lot. I was thinking about giving it a 5 with the obstacle course, Candace and Stacy with Ginger, Isabella competing with each other, and also the dance of contrition with the documentary of the song and stuff, which was Doofenshmirtz doing. It is great, but it's very good, and it did it well. Importance is a 2, and entertainment is a 5. Total score will be another 18 out of 25. Apart from Mindshare, there's a lot of good and decent episodes in Season 4 so far, even though Mission Marvel's out of character at time. It's still all good, but let's hope it keeps it going. The 5th episode of this video that I'm going to break down is Cheers for Fears. Written by Aliki Theophilopoulos, John Moffat, and Kim Robertson. Premiered on November the 1st, 2013 on Disney Channel US. When Candace is stumped about what to get Jeremy for his birthday, she reluctantly asks Phineas and Ferb for their help of creating the ultimate gift. Meanwhile, Doofenshmirtz plans to make fears a reality of his worst fear later, but his plans backfire when he finds himself battling his own fears instead.
Birthday present for months, but it's not even close to being as good as I want it to.
This is the 11th time a birthday is celebrated or mentioned, while 2 of them have already been in Season 4, and this is the 3rd one.
Come on, Candace, you're overthinking this. Jeremy will love anything you make.
And that's true. Candace is insecure about everything, but Jeremy always loves her regardless. And also there's that old lady from Road to Danville. She works here.
Much I care.
Oh no.
Oh yes, you're going to have to ask for help from
Phineas and Ferb.
And there are many episodes before we see Candace needs Phineas and Ferb's help, but this is another one of them, but for Jeremy's birthday.
Fired out the bugs in our fusion-powered popper, no longer glowing, so we're good to go. I speak sullen.
Buford is kind of weird in these situations. He's always obsessed with Candace many times.
Candace messed up and now Jeremy's birthday is ruined.
Completely misinterpreted what I said.
Well, not true, even though Candace is right about Buford misinterpreting it, but he knows that it's Jeremy's birthday.
It's Jeremy's birthday and I want to do something really special, so I can. You guys have been doing all I have is a scrapbook and I don't want to blow it, so can you help me out?
This is great. It's like a blueprint.
Candace was that shy at first, but Phineas and Ferb are always nice and participate to help Candace no matter what, along with other people, so they're gonna do it anyways.
You know what else we're gonna do today?
It's gotta be perfect!
Oh, she said where's Barry?
Not to work on your sewing.
More like Buford is way ahead of you, Candace.
Well, it's horrific movie night.
And that's a reference to Horrible Movie Night, written by John Moffat, who wrote this episode.
Ridiculously bad movies.
He's always the guy shushing everyone.
Night of the Living Torso.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's a reference to Night of the Living Pharmacist, which actually aired next year.
And the horror genre throughout Danville have been checked out.
What's with the box?
Nothing. Have look like outside.
You get me to go outside to see what the boys are up to?
There was one episode of Thunderous and Fort in season 2 where Phineas was building a fort and Candace had to delay because Phineas needed to win the competition.
All up in fact.
Reverse psychology. See you later.
Okay, bye.
And this is going to be another episode in this breakdown since Troy's story that Candace doesn't try to bust her brothers while building inventions. And they're going to be building a 3D scrapbook with 2 front-face Phineas. Make that 3 in a couple of seconds.
Pictures of all the Jeremy-related places and things you can.
Back to us to incorporate into a mega interactive scrapbookaganza.
So Candace is going to go to places where Jeremy likes, like Slushy Dog and all of that stuff, and transmission to make it a 3D scrapbook to make memory. Phineas and Ferb are geniuses of intellect.
Peace. Were you gonna say something?
Oh yeah, Isabella doesn't speak towards the end of this episode because she's going for a patch, silent patch, whatever it is. Same, every time I watch a stream or a movie or channel, I get interrupted by someone opening the door. I feel for you, dude.
Worst Fearinator! What? Oh yeah, I guess from your point of view it's a little difficult to see.
Look at the nail, it looks sharp from each side as it looks like a boar's head.
Best evil rulers used fear to keep people in line.
Rented all the scary movies in Danville for research.
And batteries.
Who will make a movie out of dead batteries? Really? I've seen some ridiculous movies, but that?
Better than its prequel, functioning properly.
He just says functioning properly, just like the second dimension and other episodes.
Analyze the fear-based synapses of the brain. Wonderful data.
So he transferred the fears of watching the movies of horror to his brain so that he can make a fearinator.
Whatever they're afraid of actually appears. Plus, you like being a guinea pig? I bet you'd be a cute little teal guinea pig.
Even though Doofusbell is evil, I appreciate calling Perry the Platypus cute, even though he calls him a guinea pig.
Nothing? Perry the Platypus, Alka agent. Fearless.
That can be a bit of a stretch because we've seen Perry the Platypus's fear as he did dream about his covers being blown, and he's also feared about doing the driving test false as he saw it, and his family getting in danger in the journey of the center of the Candace. We did see that Perry did become a giant in the Nightmare Nator in the revival.
I'll just leave you here because you're all tied up.
See you later because it isn't my tail that's upside down.
Some of the jokes are hilarious, I'll give it that, but Doof, you gotta stop trying too hard.
I should have stuck with the first 2, you're right.
And daffodils, me on a third date.
There has been mention about Jeremy and Candace meeting each other before, and they went on a couple of dates, so before the show or after?
Flower, I'm drawing a blank.
Daffodil, third date.
Just a minute, giant scaled up form.
I like how it turns into a big flower as it folds quickly like that. It is like a scrapbook as we see it, and it folds and it spins around, becoming like a big flower of a pot.
Smells like my gram. Smelled like ant pheromones.
I really like how Phineas brings up Buford's grandma smelling like ant pheromones, which is mentioned since Giants. Great continuity.
Scrapbookaganza, a full sensory experience.
Phineas and Ferb are not just building inventions for fun, they're doing it for their sister to impress Jeremy. They're being a great wingman so far. We've seen that many times in the show. A lot of front-face Phineas in this episode, as there are frames that are completely different because of animation budget and stuff.
Coco. Jeremy prefers it with a little more cinnamon.
I guess my fortune came true. You will share your cocoa with a long-necked teenager.
And once again, Candace's long neck has been mentioned again so many times. And the man who voices Dan Proverman.
Friend's gonna get a fortune cookie at a French cafe.
Yes!
I paused it right there and Perry kicked him near the net. That's gonna hurt.
Job all right on that.
I just paused the frame. Perry actually kicked you in the net, not in the jaw.
About anything scary. I couldn't help it. It just popped in there. Vending machines are taking over.
And that is a callback to the second dimension where vending machines become the dominant race, as he mentioned in the song. And funny enough, that fear actually came true in the season 5 revival finale, the Venpocalypse. You can find that in my YouTube channel, which I already did a breakdown of.
No, I'm not.
Tiny vanilla cookies. How long have those been in there?
And the vending machine was forcing Doofus to eat food. I thought at first when I first watched it, we'll put him in the Venpocalypse machine inside, but they do that in the finale of season 5.
Is complete.
Another of the front face Phineas.
Plus, we got Love Handle to come in for level.
Haven't seen Love Handle for a while, but it's nice to see them. They're always cool when they're on screen.
Need a test run, so
Sure, you're the boss.
As the song is playing, the song is called Giant 3D Scrapbook, sung by none other than Love Handle, as Candace is going through the journey in Jeremy's birthday throughout it, and it's sung by Candace's point of view as she doesn't sing. Whoever animated this done a very good job of doing it. It looks like he's controlled by a puppet or something, which makes it great. Animating the 3D scrapbook isn't easy. You're going to need a lot of materials to do it. Look at how Jeremy's head flips like that. That is difficult to do. Whoever did this did a great job. The previous 3D scrapbook we mentioned wasn't in this episode, but this part is. This is the part where it makes no sense, as it showed pictures of Happy New Year as it hadn't happened yet at the time of the episode, which is actually confusing to the audience. If this is added on purpose, it had to take place after the Happy New Year, maybe in the new summer. But if it takes place in this summer, then why was this added? We got so many questions that is unanswered. The continuity has been very consistent in Phineas and Ferb, but this part was questionable. This is another error, as Addison and Holly were riding on the giant squirrels, but some shots later, Holly was placed by Ginger. But in the Scrapyard version, they're riding in the car or showing their outfit from My Sweet Ride, which is another ad error, but not the continuity. And that was in Let's Take a Quiz in season 2. Candace and Jeremy did have some off-screen adventures with each other, as we don't see it. Jeremy's holding a picture of Candace, which is from the Bully Code. That was the day in Shea Platypus, doing the wheelbarrow racing Run Candace Run, and we don't get to see the boots of the fast as she uses her normal shoe. And we don't get to see the kiss, but that was from Summer Belongs to You. And she's smiling, so she is very impressed with the 3D scrapbook that Phineas and Ferb made.
But it's being natural in the core.
Told you. That's what I was playing.
It reminds me of that joke that the kid made in B-Day.
Why do we always end on that weird B flat with an F sharp bass?
Question it.
I mean, it's not even in the key.
And we see more of Perry's expression is like, he may be my nemesis, but I have to save this bastard again. Imagine you used the giant coin instead of the self-destruct that Norman store. You would have scared the vending machine, but it works too.
I just have a few notes here. It's perfect! I love it, guys!
Just like My Sweet Ride, I really like how Candace appreciates her brothers instead of busting them. We need more of this. We need some episodes like this.
Yeah, smiley face.
I'm glad Mom's gone for the biggest fears that this is just gonna fly away before Jeremy gets here.
This is the third time that Candace got hit by the Anita. First one being Candyman and Miss Pussy monitoring, and now this episode. I like how Candace tried to show her boyfriend about the 3D scrapbook instead of busting it, and front face Phineas.
See that weird green bean? You gotta see what the boys built in the backyard!
I like how she trying to show Jeremy what her brothers built instead of busting and showing it to Mom. Nice change of pace.
It's gone! First fear has come true.
There's built me something super cool for my birthday, and now it disappeared. It's okay, I get it.
I really like how Jeremy's chilled about it, as he knows what Phineas and Ferb built. And also, fun fact, this was recorded on Mitchell Musso's birthday, who did voice acting in this episode on his birthday.
Candace designed it herself.
A regular sized scrapbook, we get to see Jeremy and Candace kissing from Summer Belongs to You. An epic episode. Not many relationships in every episode is important, but this is mostly focused around Jeremy and Candace's relationship, and it does it very well. Another episode well done.
Your parking validated, or oh, you found a spot on the street.
And Doofus was smiling while his self-destruct has been destroyed. Quite weird.
Curse you, Barry the Platypus.
And the last font face Phineas in this episode. And that's the instrumental song of Don't Blink from the song called Watching and Waiting.
Just started my 24 hours of silence patch.
Is it me or Isabel starting to speak less in this breakdown video? We've seen that in the Pyramid Spot, she doesn't speak at all. And also when Norma and Chloe met, she only had one line of dialogue.
Don't talk much, Ferb. Actually quite enjoyed it. Having an inner dialogue.
Welcome to Ferbland.
It's very hard not to talk for 24 hours, unless you're with nobody or you're...
The universe is constantly expanding. What is it expanding into? Ooh. Now my mind is blown.
The plot will start off with a 2. Another both plots connecting to the formula of this story, as Candace urges Phineas and Ferb to build a giant 3D scrapbook with her memories with Jeremy, while Candace was taking pictures of memories with her and Jeremy, while the song explains how many memories that Candace and Jeremy have, as they're gonna make more. And I really like plot B, as Doofus learns about his fears as he's scared of the vending machine, as he uses the nail on Perry, which didn't work. Overall, he did press the self-destruct button, which destroyed it. And obviously, Candace's worst fear come true as the giant 3D scrapbook disappeared, but they build a regular scrapbook as Jeremy Candace is happy in the end. Characterization will be a 5. Everyone's on point and very consistent in this episode, but it's mostly focused around Candace scanning for pictures to use it for her giant 3D scrapbook to make sure that Jeremy arrived, but he did arrive too late. And Candace made a regular 3D scrapbook with her book, as Candace and Jeremy share memories, as they're going to share more together. Isabella's quiet until the end, and she acts like Ferb as always. Doof and Perry, as Doof we learn about his fears with the vending machine in the second dimension, and more of the Venpocalypse season 5 revival, and Perry as well. Visuals will be a 4. There's a lot of very good visuals, like the giant 3D scrapbook with the song, Doofus fears of the vending machine, and the worst fears come true, and the third line in the end. Very solid. Importance is a 2, mostly because of Candace and Jeremy's relationship, and entertainment is a 5 because it's very solid with the songs, the scrapbook and everything. Another 18 out of 25. What do you expect? There has been a lot of 18 out of 25 recently, but overall there are many solid episodes in the breakdown so far. Let's hope they continue the same consistency throughout this season. Aliki Theophilopoulos and John Mafford wrote another episode of Phineas and Ferb called Just Our Luck, premiered on January the 10th, 2014 on Disney Channel US, the first to premiere in 2014. When Doofus invents a single Crampanator to increase his chances of ruling in the tri-state area, he immediately fires it at Phineas and Ferb and the gang, who end up having bad luck while preparing for a sky tennis match, and Candace, who gets a load of luck and thinks she is enough a lot to bust her brothers.
Dude's gotta play it, right?
The guy holding the guitar is Danny Jacob, the composer of Phineas and Ferb, and does a lot of songs too.
You're going to give me practically unbustable brothers. Yeah, I see you down there. Hey, where's Perry?
We always see Buford and Baljeet coming to the backyard first before Isabella, which always happens in season 4.
Hold that all nighter, but we really appreciate you filling in for Agent 2.
Agent Q could be anything like Cool, Koala. Which Agent Q you think Agent P cover on? Let me know in the comments down below.
Down at Agent Con this week.
Just like any Comic Con around the world, including most of them in the United States.
Yet again, I am the only girl.
Most of the animals look PNG in this shot right there, which is strange, but okay. Nice to see Agent Lila though, even though that's her last appearance.
Burrito is like a bean and cheese icicle.
I really feel bad that Agent P is getting treated like this every single time. Why couldn't you send Sergey the Snail or other agents? Because they can still be awake, right?
What you doing?
It's been a long time she said what you're doing, but finally.
Zipline tennis game across town for the ultimate game of sky tennis.
Skennis, for short.
Twice the fun. I'll be the judge of that.
And Beef is always the judge of everything. We see him plan random ideas, what he said, and it comes true.
Whoa! They're approaching! Woof, woof, woof!
Boy, I love this new guard dog software.
And Doofus keep treating normal as trash as always, just like before.
Oh, what a little angel.
Sometimes subliminally, like when people listen to foreign language CDs in their sleep.
Speak Portuguese to sleeping people.
Well, in the Portuguese-Brazilian dubs, Doofus mentioned that he can speak English and Norwegian to sleepy people, which is a different...
How lucky my brother Roger is. Finkelkrampin and Drusselstein. He of the good kind.
I have a feeling this episode they use for the concept, which they're going to use for Milo Murphy's Law for next couple of years, which they did.
Positive or negative energy.
Created a Finkelkrampinator!
Got myself with good luck. Roger with bad luck.
I have a feeling this is a concept for Milo Murphy's Law, but Milo Murphy's Law came out in October 2013, so they could plan it along the way.
Become the mayor of Danville. Oh, the entire tri-state area. On the paper. On the paper.
I've seen a lot of drawings in the wall, unless it's on purpose, which will cost a lot. It'll be hard to get rid of it by cleaning it off.
Huh. That's odd. Steel-tip sneaker.
Actually, today I'm not. Ouch.
It's all because Doofus used the Anita to give them bad luck, which is a concept being used for Milo Murphy's Law. I'm going to be saying that a lot of times.
Is how the bad luck setting works. The good luck settings. Get off the balcony like this.
Every shot of the Anita goes towards Phineas and Ferb's backyard, like nearly every single episode.
What the? A perfect 40-degree angle?
And looks like Candace is going to be having the good luck of his side. But would it be the luck that will finally bust her brothers?
Perfect hair day! Got my PhD!
Single day goes by when I don't appreciate my PhD.
I'm going to put in the screen to show you what PhDs mean.
Take my perfect hair to a bus show.
I really like how Candace's movement matches the mirror of it, which is good.
Hello? Want a random contest to sing backup for Love Hand? And 24-hour music awards? Sweet!
And she does. I'm glad they brought up this, even though it's not really a big thing in the Kimberly Ultimatum, which will be 2 breakdowns away after I complete this, and the Halloween theme.
That could only mean... Let me try one last thing.
When I first watched this a couple times, that was completely random, but I have a feeling Lawrence dropped them right here.
I'm finally having good luck!
And you're standing in the pillar while you're wearing your shoes. Imagine this model of it. It would be dirty.
PhD, my pillow hurling dexterity.
I'll actually be able to bust Phineas and Ferb today! Mom's at that weekend-long plant potting retreat.
Sometimes good luck could lead to good fortune. And if you bust your brothers, it can turn into a good thing.
Yeah, apparently you just put some dirt in a pot for my whole schedule.
See you at 4!
The episode started at 8 a.m. So by the time Candace sees her mom, it will be 4. So it'll be 7 hours of this episode, but in 11 minutes.
I bust Phineas and Ferb!
The either falls apart, breaks, or somehow ends up backwards.
And they are having bad luck because of Doofus and Anita. Imagine Milo Murphy's Law were here. That could be the reason. Looks like they have Milo Murphy's Law right now.
But I think you may have been cursed with bad luck.
Bad luck?
Hey, it's the composer of Phineas and Ferb again, Danny Jacob.
Bad luck. That's a new one.
I remember when Melissa asked Phineas and Ferb what do they do when things go wrong, and they replied,
You usually do when things go wrong.
We have no frame of reference for that.
And Summer belongs to you when they were stuck in that island until Isabella motivated him. And Phineas and Ferb will eventually find a way. And the front face as well.
Algorithms to predict bad luck. We can make allowances for it and still have fun.
And that's another good way to bypass bad luck. Phineas is very intelligent when it comes to solving problems.
Having bad luck fun.
Cool!
Even though it's bad luck, it will not stop Phineas and Ferb from having the best summer ever. There are some Anators that do wear off and self-destruct, so he better make sure he double time it quick or he knows the limits.
Ah, man, tails. For the next person.
Penny, thanks for the flip, old bean. Here is $1,000.
I wouldn't be surprised if he dropped it or just gave it to him on purpose.
Time to give Roger a dose of bad stinkle cramping.
All fail-safe systems are in place.
I really like how Phineas and Ferb are prepared for this. If the fail system does work, they know they have other ways to do it. Like Murphy's Law, when anything can go wrong, will go wrong.
What a great day for sky tennis, huh, Mark? Or Skinnis, as the locals call it, Mark.
These two people are voiced by Jason and Randy Scala. They're both actually twins in real life.
Sets up for a powerful return. Perfectly for...
The fail system better come good and handy, otherwise...
Isabella is right there with the set. So is thou sheets. A beautiful airbag maneuver, Mark. It bounces him right back into the...
If Milo Murphy was in this situation, he would have found another way or use his backpack to find a ways to get out the situation in dangerous things. He could survive Final Destination.
I'll parry the sleeper pod. Oh.
Looks like every street light is green. Looks like Doofus is having good luck right now.
Free sample?
Thank you.
And he got that for free without paying. Doofus' good luck is in the ultra high.
Better than having a genie.
And he mentioned that again since the Late Note Monster in Season 2, the genie problem.
It's just a song. It's not even a song. It's a jingle.
And we get his origins of his evil jingle, Doofus Evil Incorporated.
Tunes are on the FM dial. I love this song. I guess I shouldn't be so...
The song is called Dancing in the Sunshine, sung by none other than Linda Strawberry. You know she worked with the Smashing Pumpkins and other band members. Nice to see Candace enjoying herself, even though the good luck is on her side. That song's always been stuck into my head when I first watched it. It's a very adorable song. Ducky Momo bandages. Everything's made for Ducky Momo. And he's getting almond brittle, the thing that Doofus always loved. Again. Why is Perry the Platypus awake in this thing as he's supposed to be asleep? It's an animation error. Oh yeah, Susie doesn't appear much in season 4 and she doesn't speak that much. But this is actually her final appearance of the original run. And she doesn't appear again for about 10 years, which is a long time.
I love it when the song ends right as you reach your destination.
Same dude, every time I listen to the song before going to bed, which hit the right timing.
The almond brittle that I got during the chorus.
Well, at the end, it turned out to be fake as we see it.
Hello, Heinz. What can I do for you?
You've had nothing but good luck your whole life, and I'm here to even things up for once.
A positive stinkle-crumpin is the result of hard, thoughtful actions in matters both business and personal.
Well, that explains it, because Doofus has bad luck with his life, his parents, his brother, and everything.
Available in dollar bins everywhere.
I really hope we get a book like this in real life. Look at the detail.
Obviously become unstrung. Oh, that's a break. She's flying right past the gap.
Can you imagine that Phineas and Ferb never think about the failsafe? They would have just lost their lives for that, but thankfully they know stuff. They are smart kids.
You guys have a permit to do sports commentary on this roof?
Production truck downstairs, which totally exists. Let's get out of here!
And the janitor just scared these two people away, which is hilarious.
I know you want to drag me into the backyard right now.
You can see an agent hat in the top with the purple coat, and Linda's holding a plant. It's actually planting the plotter plant.
No problem, Mom. Take your time.
Candace with bad luck would have just grabbed her hand and bring her to the backyard straight away.
Aw, how a new plant looks like a little secret agent.
Looks like planting the plotter plant's cover's been blown.
But you guard this alcove, Mr. Secret Agent.
People misinterpret that. She said alcove, not alcove. If she did say that, oh boy.
Apparently, your cover's been blown. Be rebodied with another family.
Hey!
Just realized that I haven't said hello to your little platypus friend.
Testy if he went snapped his... Uh-oh.
Of course, the loud cry is the reason why Perry the Platypus wakes up. Of course, it's you.
I'm not a morning person.
I made you a pie.
She really is starting to become like her mother. Front face Phineas with the helmet this time.
Right? Bus day isn't until next week.
Celebrate Bus Day next week. I wish we got an episode of them celebrating Bus Day. Doofus Anators got destroyed, so everything will go back to normal. So another Anator that doesn't actually wear off until the Anator is destroyed.
Swallow it. Not today. Mom!
Candace was still willing to bust her brother, but she was calm. But going back to normal, she is still like this. It had to do with the waves of Doofus and Nata getting destroyed, or good luck, take your pick. Another front face, which is the last in this episode.
Yeah, that's borderline creepy. Hi, Mom.
Mental note. Never accept canned confections from a guy in a clown suit.
No shit, Sherlock, Doofus. No shit. The plot will start off with a 2. Both plots goes very well as Doofus trying to use the Nata as he finds himself to have good luck, while he finds the random Nata from anywhere as Candace appears to have good luck as it shows, while Phineas and Ferb had bad luck, but they found other ways to enjoy their invention by using the failsafe, which is very safe for them. And Candace is having a very good time until the bad luck Doofus vs. Nata wears off towards the end, which causes Candace to go back to normal and the invention to disappear. Doofus' plan was to take over the tri-state area by using the bad luck on his brother Roger, but it turned out it was no avail. Characterization will get a 5. Everyone else is very consistent in this episode. Even though Phineas and Ferb and the gang had bad luck, they continue with their inventions, while Candace was having a very good time with her good luck until the Nata was destroyed with Doofus by Perry the Platypus, and we see Roger Doofus again what he is after the previous episode, and the 2 commentators as well, we don't see again. Very consistent. Visuals will be a 4. There's a lot of good things with the animation. While Phineas and Ferb and the gang played tennis while gliding, Candace is having good luck. The song was very good. Not as stunning, but it's still good. Importance is a 2. I know 2 is for importance. The one main thing is that the concert has been used for Milo Murphy's Law, which it did. Entertainment is a 5 as it's an 18 out of 25 again. I know some people will tick off of 18 out of 25 every time. The show has been very consistent so far. There hasn't been 2 stand-up moments like My Happy Birthday Isabella, My Sweet Rye, the 2 Perry Souls episode, and the Avengers Phineas and Ferb crossover. The rest are pretty consistent, apart from Mindshare, but overall it's doing very well. 6 down, 4 to go. The 7th episode of this video is called Return Policy, written by Mike Bell and Patrick O'Connor, premiered on January the 24th, 2014 on Disney Channel US. And I'm doing a quick review in this episode. Annoyed at waiting in the really long lines at the return counter, Doofus invents a back to the store and to send things back to the store where they came. Meanwhile, Phineas and Ferb stay the extreme battling challenge their friends take place in, and Candace's obsession to bust coincidence with her and Jeremy's visit to the extreme water park.
So, where is Perry?
Oh, he's at home.
We start off with the episode where Candace is talking to Stacy about Jeremy, about what their relationship is.
I'm going to the store. Do you need anything?
And they're actually going to the super duper store as Linda will take too long to pick up the shopping as Candace is going with her. Candace is buying a lot of stuff in the mall to collect for her DeLorean and stuff until...
Hey, Candace. What you doing?
Hey, Jeremy.
Here we go. One nose hair clipper.
The water sports section.
I didn't know you did water sports. This place is intense.
While they went in the waterfall to have fun.
Well, kids, actually. One had a triangle head.
And these 2 went on to have a very fun time, which expanded their relationship more.
What involves the basic principles of velocity, force, and geometry.
The gang build the ultimate batting challenge as they're going to have fun by doing baseball bat and stuff. And I really love Alison Stoner's passion as Isabella as she does a crazy commentary. And they end up having a very fun time with the invention as Isabella's commentary is good and everyone else participates.
Wow, what a trajectory.
And it took a long time before they do it, as well as Candace losing her busting urge again.
Here comes the pitch.
Doofus planning his scheme for the back to the store as Major Monogram briefs.
Behold, the back to the store-inator!
And presto, it's transported back to the store where I bought it.
As he's gonna do that to get money into his pocket so he can build more Anators and possibly ruin the tri-state area.
Ah, it was using coupons to cut prices. Man, you have no idea how much that was worth.
by destroying the Innator. Overall, the plot side has some very convincing parts, like the plot A and plot B and plot C intertwine with each other, and I really like how it keeps the pacing engaged with all the influence come from each parts of it. We get a lot of consistency with the characterization in this episode, where Phineas and Ferb again having fun by doing sports while Jeremy and Candace hang around together, Linda doing shopping, and Perry do her as usual. The visuals have some interesting things like the Phineas and Ferb invention, and also the song that plays during the episode which Candace and Jeremy are. There are some good things, but not quite as much as it is. There are a lot of important things in this episode, like Candace and Jerry, and the inventions of the formula of the episode is the same, which it is. While every episode of season 4 has been entertaining so far. Overall, it's not bad. There are some uncomfortable jokes with the hygienes and stuff. There's actually some people that didn't like this episode or find it underwhelming, but it's balanced it alright for this episode. Even the invention of Phineas and Ferb was good. A lot of things. It's not bad, not memorable, but overall it's pretty decent enough.
Curse you, Perry the Platypus, my wretched, wretched life.
Bernie Peterson and Joshua Pruitt wrote an episode called Imperfect Storm, premiered on June the 11th, 2014 on Disney XD US. Phineas and Ferb create a wind amplification device due to that plans revenge on his childhood foe, Glinda, by using a song Innator to rain out her garden tea party. Meanwhile, Mom's backyard makeover gives Candace hope that her dream of busting her brother will actually happen. And we don't hear the la 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 la. And we start the Google Pets War. I haven't seen that for a while.
We'll be hanging out a little longer.
Not yet, although they are trying to figure out how they can both use the push broom.
Hey, Mom, we're going down to the park to fly our kites.
We always see Phineas and Ferb building in the backyard. Now it's in the park now. Change your pace a bit.
Glad to meet with those landscaper guys.
Dubois Landscape Artists.
And here at the bottom, it said, "We speak Dutch," which you could translate.
Thought the city council was getting a little redundant.
I'm Pierre Du Bois, one-day landscape artist.
They're both voiced by Martin Overstegen and Simon Pegg, who go on to do another voice role in this show.
Like it's spelled, it's French.
I really like how Elsie Powell sings the song while reading it. It's kind of funny.
French. He's from Dutch. It's nice to meet you.
My American ears, it almost sounded like, "Where's Perry?"
Weird to see her saying "Where's Perry," even though it fits her. This is like the Games of the Arcane, which I just recently went. It is very good.
That doof has been outfitting his skiff with... Just look out the window in the first place.
I don't know, sir.
And keep wasting our funds like this.
And they mention about the funds of the old WCA as it goes into resources. It gets more mentioned once we get to Save Summer.
Is he gone?
Yeah, come on, let's go to Vegas.
Las Vegas is mentioned again since Don't Blink. That was in season 2.
It's a kite, but it totally looks like a pirate ship. In my kite?
Wow, enough wind for something like that?
An amplification device.
And I really like how they're using the blowtorch of the invention to make it wind powerful.
You start by blowing a bit of wind into cold liquid nitrogen to cool things down.
It starts to warm back up again, and that's when we heat it up with a giant blowtorch.
What I love about inventions is Phineas is explaining about how it works, what it does, and how does it do it. I love it.
Volume, and eventually blows it out with an acceleration cone.
And this is the final episode they will use the bird guy, since it's been used since the roller coaster.
Can we fly kites like that?
Irving has volunteered to keep puffing air into the intake.
All morning, so it won't be stinky.
Is it me, or are we seeing a lot of Irving in season 4?
Very thoughtful of you, Irving.
I didn't really do it for you.
He knows he did it for Phineas and Ferb. And Isabella, why are you pleasing him? Aren't you rizzing Phineas?
Yeah, I do like him. Landscape artists.
No, it's fine.
Almost another singing guy, but thankfully that stopped because of Linda.
Enough of that. Didn't get the money up front.
Look at 5 of them. Ferb has a Petrodactyl, Phineas has a robot, Buford has a pirate ship, Baljeet has a dragon, while Isabel has the unicorn, which we've seen a couple of times in many episodes from the past seasons.
It's working!
Wow, minty!
Baljeet's wearing a gear head, which is a resemblance for Doof Dynasty.
Jumping clouds!
What's this? Now I'm in a car.
I really love this transformation as it turns from robot into a car as Phineas demonstrates it, as it turns into a wheels as it folds like that. It looks crisp and clean, just like Transformers. The bird gad wasn't used by once but twice in this episode. The binocular is out of focus as it goes into focus as it zooms in. You get to see that is the mean woman, not Gurinder. Gurinder is actually in the left right here.
I carry the platypus! In a ringbox trick.
Look how angry Perry the Platypus is as he gets trapped again.
Spying on a garden party.
There was this mean girl named Grulinda.
They're on my head. Ow!
Just like Boris kicking sand in your face.
Stop throwing water on me!
Doofenshmirtz as a norm is moving. Why isn't his dad appearing? He would have told him to not move. There it is. I forgot about that part, but yeah.
Grulinda Boobenware moves to Danville, party being held in her honor at Danville Park.
He thinks it's Grulinda. It actually is the mean woman, as he does misinterpret it.
Got this picture in the magazine so quick. Have my revenge with this Soganator!
I wouldn't blame Doofenshmirtz, but you need to double check her before you do it.
That I've held onto this grudge for so long.
Dying to see what you...
Well, it's not finished yet, but it's a juxtaposition.
I really love Linda's expression as she saw the sculpture as she going to see in front of her.
A suburban lawn in the dryness of the natural summer environment.
Water bucket dumping desert cacti.
Honeysuckle basket, extra spiky barrel cacti in place of the water.
I wonder how long did it take both of them to make this. This looks cool.
No!
Volgens mij vindt het niks.
Oh.
Mom, I need
Me back in a few minutes. I'm a little ticked off right now.
She is struggling to make decisions as Candace is struggling with a hole in the Google Pets mall. So there are both sides to it.
Lawn, there's a giant bucket and a bunch of cactuses.
What's wrong?
The boys, they're busted.
She should have just said their names, so Linda's actually misinterpreted that and thinks that Candace busted Phineas and Ferb, but not the case.
There's a bus, they put it on the blogosphere.
And the song is called Straight Up Boss, performed by Candace in this episode. She mistakenly believes her mom finally busted Phineas and Ferb, but is not the case.
Wow! It's windy up here. What's up? I won't have enough water to dump on it.
Perry Wildtide pushing the bucket to make sure he run out of water. Good thinking.
Did you hear that?
And it's Perry the Platypus that caused this, not Irving. You can't blame him.
The captain always goes down with the ship.
Everyone's is running as Buford is wearing it without his shoes as he's running with barefoot.
You've been dumping out my water?
You should have just turned around earlier, Doofenshmirtz. You're kind of being dumb again.
This is the irrigation wheel.
On the capricious nature of our existence, some get water and live, others go dry and die.
It's uncanny that Perry has a British accent, even though it's voiced by Simon Pegg.
Full of dead plants.
Great art takes time!
Even though I like this, it just felt like the weakest part of this episode. I think except for Phineas and Ferb and Doofenshmirtz's plot. Doofenshmirtz is blasting off again. That is the definition of Toon Force. Gotta save your nemesis.
You! A giant bucket of water on you and your part. I will get you next time.
That's that soggy, Grulinda.
Grulinda's over there, Bob.
Mean Woman is voiced by Leah Remini again, who voiced Doreen in this breakdown, which I did.
Soggy bottom Heinz Doofenshmirtz.
Grulinda is voiced by Isabella Banks. You know her from Pitch Perfect and other roles in television and movies. And Grulinda looks so gorgeous. Doofenshmirtz, riz her, unless she's married or something. Just riz her now.
To be so, like this one, ugly.
You're on my list now, buddy.
You called her ugly, Doof, so I don't blame her.
Being so nice to me. You picked on me all through grade school.
Poured all that water on you because I liked you.
See? It's not too late, Doofenshmirtz. You can riz her now. Do it.
Time to play. Straight up bust.
The song is actually pretty catchy, but it's such a shame it cuts from other scene to that scene. I wish I had the full version. Well, it's on YouTube.
I need to see what the boys have done.
You could have just done that any time at any moment, but you decided to do a song of this. Okay.
Symbolise the hardships of being a mum. He holds pink jasmine, which symbolises the joy of children.
Sweet and adorable thing I've ever seen.
And Linda's doing the cute eyes like Phineas, like mother like son.
She's mocking us.
Volgens mij vindt ze het echt wat.
After all these years, just look at you, little soggy butter.
If he doesn't plan to get revenge, he could have risked Glinda, maybe marry her, and she could be a stepmom for Vanessa, but we don't get it.
Party with a giant bucket of water and the
Crying over my party with a big bucket of water.
And why did you tell her that? You could have just lied like he fell into a river or he got pulled by kids or something. But telling the truth will mean something.
my list.
Revenge? For what?
Water on me when we were little.
I was 8.
8? So she'd probably be in her 40s and the same age as Heinz.
This petty grudge all these years?
Here you go. I pour water on your head.
Wait, was that for the vengeance thing? Yeah, it was for the vengeance.
You fumbled the bad Doofer immensely. If you weren't thinking about the vengeance thing, you could have gone on with a date with her. You fumbled the bad big time.
Well, at first, I thought the boys were the world's worst landscapers.
Landscapers? Show me what they did.
What did who do?
Poor timing, Candace. If only you came earlier.
Where did it all go?
Very funny, Mom.
It was all here just a second ago.
She is talking about something else, Candace, not Phineas and Ferb. So she doesn't know. She should have arrived on time.
He called it sweet and adorable. It's not. Net for daddy. Would you rather I spoke in English?
He could have done that in the whole episode, but why now? As just like many episodes so far, the plot will get a 2. Even though it had 4 plots, many of them have been the weakest. One of them being Candace going to the mall, even though I like the song, but it's not there. Linda meeting the 2 people who do sculpture art, even though they've been insulted to see how lovely that is. But my favourite 2 plots in this episode are Phineas and Ferb riding a giant kite with their own creations, while Doofer was planning to get revenge on Glinda, even though Glinda looks so beautiful, and he fumbled the bag as always. Characterization will get a 5. And we see the 2 people, even though I don't really care much about them, they made a nice sculpture and they leave in the end. Phineas and Ferb, the gang as usual, doing fun stuff. Candace hanging the mall with Stacy, but mostly with Doof and Perry as they interact with each other as they fight. But Doofer interact with Glinda, even though she was very lovely, and Elizabeth Banks did a very good job doing the Jussel Studio voice, and he fumbled the bag and by trying to get revenge on her, which he could have risked her. The visuals will get a 4. The sculpture, Candace's scene in the mall with the song, the Phineas and Ferb and the Gadfly and the kite, the water that Doofus made to try pour it in. Everything else is very animated, better than the last one. Importance and entertainment, you know how it goes. Another standard of an 18 out of 25. Even though some of the season 4 episodes is good, I'm starting to feel like by the time I rewatched this, I feel like season 5 had a better plot than season 4 of the 11-minute episode, but it's superior to season 5 because it had specials. 8 down, 2 to go. The 9th episode in this breakdown video is called Steampunks, written by Bernie Peterson and Joshua Pruitt, premiered on November the 15th, 2030 on Disney Channel US. And it's also the last episode to premiere in 2013, when Phineas and Ferb discover a commemorative coin from the 1903 Danville World's Fair. Lawrence recounts the events of the festival to them, in which steam-driven devices were introduced and a set of kids who were very much like them were preparing for their highly anticipated event. Meanwhile, the kids' pet swan must stop Professor Von Doofenshmirtz from destroying the fair.
Got a bottle cap and a brass nail.
I got a nickel and a piece of brass.
I'm going to find.
It looks like Lawrence is using his metal detector with steampunk, which will be based around in this episode.
Hi, Phineas. What you do?
Once again, Balji and Buford are the only 2 that appears first before Isabella came in.
That steam-powered metal detector.
Looks like I was right. I said it first before he said it.
Locates other antiques.
Oh, we've got another one.
It's not a nail, it's a coin.
Commemorative coin from the 1903 Danville World's Fair.
And it's the Danville's World Fair coin, as it looks like we're going to see it from the point of view of steampunks.
Must have been quite an event.
And it's going to be another time shift episode, even though Lawrence is explaining it. We had the caveman episode, we had the fantasy episode, and plenty more.
To all you forward-thinking socialites.
The song is called Professor Elemental's Future Past, which is a British steampunk rap artist by the real-life Professor Elemental, who's voiced by the real person, by the way. And you see in the left, that's Ginger from the steampunk era. Steampunk hats, steampunk festivals, steampunk clothes. This is very accurate, and I like how the creators know their stuff. Motor cow steampunk design. This looks very good with the different colours and stuff.
The kitchen's prototypes are singing kettle.
And we see the blimps of the steampunk, which is actually accurate in the steampunk era.
Future is amazing. Time for you to climb up. Time for me to show the way. Cycle takes you skyward and you'll see the future food.
I feel like the background of this looks painted. As you can see, the tractor, the trees are painted, and as they have a picnic.
I'm catching lightning in a jar.
When I first watched this, I was thinking, is that Monty and Vanessa? And by the time I watched it years and years back, it is them. So there's a steampunk version of Monty and Vanessa, as it's just like the present day. You can see different types of cogs of the machine. It looks cool. Steampunk Kate, as she looks like present day Kate. I love the design of the steampunk vehicles and different types of design. And there's Holly.
Everything will change. Time for me.
As I look in the background, you see Isabella's mom, Vivian, just like the present day. And Irving too, as well as his mom. Is that Irving's dad next to him on the right? We never seen Irving's dad in Phineas and Ferb in the present day, which is kind of strange, but if he is, why is he wearing glasses like Irving? And look at these two behind. That has to be Irving's parents.
With the excellent hat and that hair.
Phineas and Ferb is there, of course. Behind Professor Elemental is Addison. And also behind the man with the beard with the goatee is Gretchen. And also behind Ferb is Beaver's mom. All in steampunk.
The future's gonna be amazing. Flying machine, household electrification, empowered submarine.
And since this takes place in this timeline, I'm going to presume that's Phineas and Ferb's ancestors.
Personally, I'm looking forward to cheese that comes in aerosol can.
Hello there, my young fellows. Old Civil War coins.
Rock and roll eventually pierced the Confederate center, but the Federal advantage was not.
And it's called the Battle of Antietam, which happened in September 17th, 1962, which is the coin which is seen here.
Sorry, we've got chores to do.
And they carved the narration to focus on Candace.
Water down this old and water and yak! D-road, I reckon there'll be more.
Even if Candace is blocking Phineas and Ferb's view, we still see a front face in steampunk.
You should be doing your farm chores.
Well, thanks to technology, unless you work in a farm, well, it helps some people to do it better.
About a way to do our chores. Modern steam technology.
Have to haul water, sweep the barn, collect eggs, spin a quilt, and do whatever this is, I tell Mom.
Poor Candace, but she does have a point. She has been doing a lot. I wonder if in the steampunk era that Candace still has a boyfriend of Jeremy. I wonder what Jeremy looks in the steampunk, even though he doesn't appear. Another one.
Well, boys, we would like to inquire as to what you are doing at this moment.
And another front face Phineas.
Hey, where's Sweary?
There are some words like what you do or other stuff that doesn't exist in the 19,000s. But platypus did exist in the 17,000s. But why not? Why swear in the swan? I don't mind it.
There you are, Sweary the Swan. Any yours gives me the creeps. You know swans don't do much.
We always hear that quote everywhere, but it stopped until this episode where he said, he's a swan, he doesn't do much. He's a platypus, he don't do much. And you can hear that theme. That is Perry the Platypus's theme, but in the steampunk version.
This is Major Megaburn.
Still Major Monogram, but in the 19,000s. And he has sideburns with the mustache and that.
Enemy Professor Von Doofenshmirtz eating something evil in his laboratory.
I like how you can see clips. It's like an old movie, as technology hasn't advanced then.
Harry would want to try my steam-powered jetpack.
And yes, jetpacks does exist in steampunk.
How come your zoetrope image?
Hey, a zoetrope was mentioned in season 4. And there was supposed to be an episode called Bad Deal, which will be based around the zoetrope, but that didn't happen. At least we got this, though.
Doofenshmirtz, evil amalgamated.
And they're singing Amalgamate instead of Incorporate, because Incorporate didn't exist.
Sweary the Swan!
Professor Von Doofenshmirtz, and he has a mustache in two sides, as he has a cool gear with a hat and a purple coat.
Unforeseen is completely foreseen.
This is like the first episode of Roller Coaster when he said completely unexpected. This is like a callback to that.
Well, hello there. My sidekick, Pneumatic Norman.
And we got Norm as a steampunk as he's fused with a train with wheels and that. It looks neat.
Put this cucumber in the salads. That's where he has problems identifying objects.
Like the one he drew in the wall in that one episode, which I did.
Tie him to the railroad track.
He's gonna splatter him and destroy him? Whoa, Von Doof, you are so evil.
Wow.
I get it, Sweaty the Swan.
And there's the steampunk theme of the Quirky Worky song. And it's a big tractor or whatever it is of steampunk version vehicle they are driving. I wish we got to see them how they build it, but it's good enough. Even in the 19,000s, Phineas and Ferb knows how to make things fun. And they're using a corn like a minigun.
Time to meet Jeremy.
Even in this timeline, Candace do have a boyfriend, but we actually don't get to see him.
Steam-powered torturing device. You are so going to get it.
If this was in the current day, Candace would have said busted, but she said you're gonna get it, which is different.
Stop till we run out of coal.
But the thing that Phineas and Ferb riding that has a flaw, and without coal, it would stop.
It's amazing new technology here on this commemorative coin that
And that was the coin that Lawrence found it in his steampunk metal detector.
It's probably right at your feet. Bend over without pulling my axles out of alignment.
New steam-powered gizmos that they plan to use for progress.
Out of hope and optimism to progress.
Even though it's the steampunk era, Van Doofus explains about his whole scheme to swear the swan, just like the real-life counterpart.
Big monster machine smash their worlds. The evil swan. It's a...
Even though it's the steampunk era, I'm still gonna count that because in the modern day era, Doofus would have called it the evil swaninator.
It's got more hammers than you do.
And I really like how you can hear the whole sound effects like the old trains and stuff. That's good.
It's on the new technology of steam. Sir, I found your coin. That's my daughter, you dog.
And there's the steampunk version of Vanessa. She was with Monty earlier and we see her fully.
She wouldn't fit in the gumball machine.
Did he just say gumball?
Hear that swear the swan does?
And I really like how you can hear the steam as the smoke goes up. That's a good detail.
Didn't hear what you said.
I swear this one was tied to a train. Doofus reference similar quote to Matrix.
You hear that, Mr. Anderson? That is the sound of inevitability.
Up and down and up and down.
And she's wearing a dress like normal steampunk female will actually wear.
Machine to do their chores.
That sounds exciting.
Was a doll in the shape of a bear?
Farmer and Farmer's Wife. We haven't seen them for a long time in season 4. And the teddy bear is actually named after President Theodore.
You never believed in me or anthropomorphism.
Hey, there's Isabella's mom again.
The power of my... We can't hear you.
Sorry, the swan actually getting tired just reminds me of when I played Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2 where you can tie a person and you can crush them with a tree. Can you imagine he lost his life because of that? Von Doofusmus is evil. I like how he curves his hand to place his hat, just like his real counterpart.
Rampaging steam-powered hammery swan. You have just invented the moving picture documentary.
We've seen that in many animation shows like Chalkson in one episode, Batman the Brave and the Bold in one episode they did this. We're going to see an animated version of the cinema camera instead of fully animated with sound. And you see what he's saying on screen as we don't hear it. I like how they had the classic feel like the old movies instead of the cliche fighting we've seen from every single season of Phineas and Ferb.
Aren't you a bit young to be industrial?
Yes. Yes, we are.
All right, Spartacus, let's get these goods to market and then it's back to the bookcase for...
Also, the bookcase is mentioned, but in the 19,000s.
What else do you guys want to do today? We can go to Panama and start digging.
Panama has been mentioned again since the Watcher doing in season 3. The other time skip episode.
We begin courting.
What?
Nothing.
I didn't understand that first because I was confused. Then I realized I did my research on the internet. I put on the screen what dating and courting means as a man approaches a lady in courting, ultimate goal is to marry. So Isabella's plans to marry Phineas even though in the steampunk era. Some things just never change.
Go. 1903. We do not use that word.
And that is breaking the fourth wall. It's becoming self-aware.
West side. Sway the swan.
Even 1903, Von Doofenshmirtz is still losing to Swery the Swan. Now some things just never change.
Danville World's Fair.
It's steam-powered hammering swan. That sounds a little far-fetched for the time period, doesn't it?
Tell that for real.
Oh, yes. Yes, it does.
I love how everyone's smiling. And Isabella's holding Perry, which is cute.
How was I up there?
Alright, let's start with the plot. And it's gonna get a 2. Lawrence explains the story of what happened in 1903 with everything about steampunk, as plot A focused on Phineas and Ferb and the gang doing chores, while Candace was trying to bust them as always, but failed once again, while plot B focused on Swery the Swan and Doofenshmirtz, as he plans to destroy the fair, even though it's reality we see all the time with Doof, and Swery the Swan's destroyed Doofenshmirtz's evil swan. The plot is well balanced, well placed, and we get to see a lot of the steampunk vehicle, how they dress and all of that. Characterization will get a 5. The characterization of the gang is the same from 1903, as well as Linda, as well as Candace as well, Swery the Swan, and also Doofenshmirtz along with Norm, with the same formula which happened in 1903. Even though it's a chain, we get to see the perspective of it. There were a lot of good visuals, but there are many that are good, didn't quite live up to higher than expectation than before. But this one is. I really like how people was dressed in the steampunk era with the vehicles, the fair, the song was doing very well earlier, Swery the Swan and Doofenshmirtz, as we getting into usual, Phineas and Ferb doing their chores and stuff, and the characters at the same. Overall, this is a new change of pace, even though it's the same, like the present day. Importance is a 2, and this is the last episode of the time skip of the past, along with the other episodes, while the next one we see takes place in the alternative in Lost in Danville. Entertainment is a 5, as it gets a 19 out of 25. Even though I prefer Excalibur and The Watcher doing maybe slightly more, but this one is very good. I really like how we see the steampunk era. I hope we get to see more time pass in season 6 like in before. We're about one more done before this video ends. To finish the 10th episode of this breakdown video, it's called It's No Picnic, written by J.G. Ortega and Eddie Pittman, premiered on June the 23rd, 2014 on Disney XD. Isabella plans an impromptu picnic for Phineas when the rest of the gang have their own plans of their own. Meanwhile, Doofer uses a transporter to send Vanessa to the movie marathon.
Come on, gang. Well, that's a bummer.
Only 4 seconds in and we've already started with this.
Can do Phineas an East Indian cooking class. Lord Vindaloo.
Looks like Balji and Buford is out, so that can only mean one thing.
Well, the plans will still work with just 3 of us.
We'll have to wait until after Ferb's dental appointment.
It's not even 1 minute and everyone is gone as Ferb's going to the dentist. And you know what that means?
Oh, all right.
Ferb's so nervous.
It's because he's going to the dentist. That's why he's nervous.
Isabella, are you alright?
Isabella's face is a definition of a meme. Ever since everyone's gone, including Ferb, you know Isabella has her chance.
In order to... the amount of... This is a lot harder without Ferb around.
Well, you did have close to having a meltdown in the island in Summer Belongs to You, but yeah.
Never says anything.
It's how he doesn't say it.
Phineas knows Ferb so well, ever since they were young.
The Fireside Girl manual for inspiration.
Even Perry's gone.
Phineas sitting in the tree alone reminds me of the third movie that is in production right now.
I see you've taken our new breakfast-themed lair entrance.
A normal human being will never fit in like that, but Perry the Platypus does.
Thrift store dollar bins. You pick up a cup of coffee for him on your way over. It's on me. I feel bad for the poor guy.
Even though Major Monogat and Doofenshmirtz call each other names and all that, I really like how Major Monogat have sympathy for Doofenshmirtz because he is poor.
The Fireside phone. Gretchen at the right.
The red phone under the glass, which is actually resemblance to Batman when we see it.
Gretchen, we have it code pink.
That could be also a reference to Code Black when everyone shouts at it.
Romeo is alone. Don't panic, we're on our way. Reporting for duty, man.
How did they get there quickly? That is some bullshit.
Go headquarters as we speak. Practically a vacation.
Candace, it's 104 days of summer vacation.
Was just what? Fireside Girls Mobile Tactical Unit?
That would have been a stretch if Candace didn't know, but she was part of the Fireside Girls, which makes sense.
Okay, what are you doing? It's something of a delicate matter. Anyways, I'll go.
You can see Phineas and Isabella modeled as a chessboard along with Ferb, Buford, and Baljeet.
You might not know, I have a little bit of a crush on Phineas. Being subjective. Stand down, Fireside Girl.
People don't know I used that quote on Instagram when I did the AMV for Phineas montage of the 11th anniversary of Act Your Age.
Totally get the crush. You know, I don't quite get the Phineas thing. You do realize his head is a triangle. Yeah, it's so cute.
And this is the 6th episode that Isabel almost mentioned about her love to Phineas again, which will happen. And this is another episode that Isabella tries to go out with Phineas again.
I've got your back, sister. Out of the yard and keep Mom out of the way, too.
There are many episodes that Candace is being supportive to her future sister-in-law, and this is one of them. Doofenshmirtz Doorbell Ring, which is the Evil Incorporated song. I presume this is the first time because that happened the second time in the bad old days.
For me? Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Here's the doorbell instead of just crashing through like you usually do.
It's because you've been in a bad mood, Doofenshmirtz. If you were truly evil, he would bust down your door.
Lately, I can't even rub 2 nickels.
Well, that isn't a reference to the 2 nickel joke back in the 2nd dimension.
On Dairy Creamer. Such a with it guy like Heinz Doofenshmirtz. I've Charlene the country on one of those extreme eco-cultural exploration vacations.
Very expensive. Oh, she's got some nerve. That's my alimony she's throwing away.
Well, in previous episode, clear that the way it was in their divorce was that Charlene pays Doofenshmirtz the alimony. So we don't see it here, but it's an error, but it's not a big one.
Already spent this month's alimony. Enough money left to send Vanessa to the Grievance movie.
Mention the Grievance movie again since Happy Birthday Isabella, which you actually got scared while Stacy was actually doing that.
Grievance. They've got Grievance 2, The Gripe.
Bone to pick. Grievance 4, The Revenge of the Italian Jug Band.
How many sequels did it get? Did it get a good score in ratings and IMDb and stuff? I don't know.
I don't think that last one is canon.
That's what some people say about Act Your Age.
I even enjoy using my new teleportinator. I'm just not in the mood. Maybe tomorrow.
Hey, it's these guys there all the time. We seen them in 50 Feet Tall, The Sister, when they did the jingle.
Hall, and consequently my brother Roger Silstein, and out of his mayoral jurisdiction. He's gone instantly. Need to get Vanessa to the movie theater.
I like how he's using Perry's fingers to count the numbers, as Doofenshmirtz is going to see his annator of the labels of it.
Just add another setting to my teleportinator and send Vanessa directly to the theater.
Bypass this ridiculously inflated movie ticket price.
And that turned out to be a good idea because that would save a lot of money. You could do that or no. I can imagine going into the mall without walking or other places there. That would be cool.
Yeah, this decaf? It's like you don't even know.
And he mentioned decaf, which actually becomes a meme in Sith roast decaf in Star Wars.
Initiating Operation Perfect Picnic. Like the operation is in phase 2 and Flynn is out. Peace!
I really love that Candace gives Phineas and Isabella privacy with Ferb and Phineas did the same thing in My Sweet Ride when they parachute away.
I'm kinda hungry.
Have a picnic.
Wow, what a great idea! A picnic basket right here!
This is going so well as Phineas is happy with Isabella, and hopefully it continues.
Ooh, she's good. My Fireside Girl thing. Mexican Jewish delicacies.
And yes, she is Mexican Jewish, just like her mom and her family. It has fish and salmon and 2 lemonades of juice.
Ew. That looks ridiculous.
Of course, this guy just always jumps in the fence every single effing time.
We've got a cold Irving.
Did you hear something?
Hello, lady.
Of course, he's flirting with the Fireside Girls in this episode. Irving just cannot let him go being obsessive.
Under the log. Okay. And now, see, it just doesn't work. Take the rest of the day off.
Go see a movie?
Yeah, sure. How about Grievance 4?
Even the guys that did the Doofenshmirtz evil jingle wants to have a day off, and he gives them that.
Hey, Hey, Vanessa, pumpkin pants. See, I can send you to the movies after all.
No big deal.
Vanessa goes to the movie as she covered in that green aura as she shrinks with the silhouette as she appears again, becoming here. Of course, Candace just cannot let go with the Ducky Momo, even though she's a teenager.
Time to take care of business. Set my sights on City.
As I pause in this frame, Perry the Platypus kicked him in the neck again, just like the 3D scrapbook episode. Man, Doofus is lucky not to have a sore throat after this. Theater, the friend zone, inside the goat, Easter Island again, lair, Wonderland, whatever this is, dungeon, closet, my lair, dry cleaners, crocodile nest, Nikki's office, my pants, bar, 2 streets away, and Turkish person. I don't know what the top thing is, and possibly random next to it. There are references from previous episodes from the names from it.
Oh, now I get it.
Somehow I don't think this bodes well for my plan.
Another Anita does the willy-nilly in random fire mode. Man, Doofer, you gotta be stop assessing stuff.
I call it the enchilada. It was delicious.
And I like how Phineas enjoys Isabella's food in the picnic, which makes it great. When these two get married in the future, Isabella's gonna cook Phineas a lot of great food.
Gladys, we have a runner.
Oh yes, Ferbella again, just like the Flamingo episode where Isabella was holding Ferb's hand.
Hey, Ferb, you're back. See what I mean, Isabella?
Howie doesn't say it.
You're the biggest picnic ever.
Phineas and Ferb are nothing without each other. Without Phineas, his ideas with Ferb will not match. And without Ferb, Phineas' ideas wouldn't link as much for the ideas.
It's back. Operation Perfect Picnic is now Operation Ginormous Non-Romantic Overblown Picnic.
Phineas did enjoy food for the most part, but yeah, Ferb is in the way.
Alright, big guy. Guys, just do what you do.
And I really love that Isabella doesn't get angry at Ferb. She's always nice towards Phineas and Ferb a lot of times. That shows you Isabella is a likable character when it means it.
How about the park?
Random location somewhere.
Spoke too soon, Doofus Smirts.
Introducing you to the ironic enjoyment of Ducky Momo.
Dad was really raised by wild ocelots?
And Vanessa told her before they went out to the cinema, which makes sense. And that's a callback to the Chronicles of Meat, which mentioned in season 2. Love that.
Wish that was the weirdest thing about my family. Oh.
How does Phineas and Ferb build a giant picnic straight away? Of course it's Phineas and Ferb.
But knock yourself out, girl. Ducky Momo is your very best friend.
I love that Vanessa's still singing while she walks away. Olivia Olson, you are a star.
That is Bustown, USA. Make my final stand.
The song is called A Picnic Bus, as Candace sings the song in the amusement park that her boys built and goes to Boston.
I'm in picnic land.
As Candace sings the song, you get to see the whole momentum is spinning around as it has a motion blur, as you can see the picnic, as it goes back into her front face as we see it. Very interesting. You can see the letters of the song as it's playing in the picnic land. It's a giant picnic with the foods, the tomatoes and all of that. A lot of kids are having fun in the waffle rides. You can see Brittany right there, Beeford and Baljeet, and Phineas and Ferb and Isabella. There's the guy for the red and blue sweater again. We've seen him before many times. While riding on the basket, I love that Phineas and Isabella looking at Candace as they smile. And they had the picnic with the roller coaster, just like the pilot.
I've got to pick up Ferb from the dentist.
She doesn't know that Ferb is in the picnic until Candace tells her.
At the park! I'm on my way.
Our famous Tejinder family Vindaloo.
His surname is Tejinder. Looks like Baljeet's surname has been reviewed. And there's his mom and dad right here with the goats.
Sandstorm family bitterball.
You can see the windmill at the top, which isn't the same windmill from My Sinking Feeling season 2, but there's the Buford family.
Hey, bitterballin' in my Vindaloo.
Vindaloo, all over my bitterball.
If these two great tastes will taste great together.
Kill us with fire.
Agreed.
Oh, come on. Why didn't you guys try and eat it? You would have loved it or hate it.
Something just happened. I smell bitterballing. Totally go for a mid-afternoon.
As you get to see the green lights is covering that as the picnic disappears like that. I really like how everyone's covering that. That's very decent. Well done.
Oh, Candace, you're right. That is just adorable.
What?
And I love that Linda supports her son and Isabella together on the picnic. Looks like she is the worthy of her future daughter-in-law.
Good thing we brought our own basket, huh?
And that's the second time we see that gal, but we don't see her in front of her face. We did see her behind as she slaps herself.
Yes, it is.
And just the two of them.
I get it. But ew.
Says the one who kissed Jeremy in Summer Belongs to You. And that's not you. That is cute. And they sing in Dakimomo while playing the guitar. Looks like Vanessa and Candice's relationship as friends has strengthened. Also, this is the second time they had the duet. The last one, I Scream, You Scream, the iconic Busted. And she has a British guitar, as you get to see the logo of it. And Ferb is British, so, Time to finish off with the ratings. And the plot will start off with another 2. We got the plot in this episode focused around Phineas and Ferb building an invention, but they decided to go elsewhere as Phineas and Isabella have a picnic alone, which spans a more of the Finabella in season 4 since Happy Birthday. And also focus around Doofusmas as well. The reason why he's been poor is because of Charlene's alimony, as he had the transport in there so he can transport things everywhere. He transported his daughter into the Ducky Momo movie with Candice. She ended up having a very good time, as well as the other people as well. And Phineas and Ferb created a picnic for the park, but it turned out it disappeared. And Phineas and Isabella have a good time in the picnic towards the end, as Linda approves them as cute. Characterization will get a 5. Mostly because of Phineas and Isabella having a picnic, while Isabella showing the food to Phineas, as Phineas ended up having a very good time until Ferb came back as they build a picnic in the park until everything goes back to normal. And Phineas and Isabella had a great time in the end, which is so cute, which added to the Finabella dynamic. We also see Doof and Perry as well, as we see Doofus versus life being in a shambles that time because of the Charlene gone anywhere with her alimony, with or with whatever. Candice as well. Good to see her interacting with Vanessa after watching the Ducky Momo movie, which is great. And the song at the end was a banger. Visuals, it's another 4. There are a lot of good visuals with the picnic in the park, the Ducky Momo at the end with Candice and Vanessa singing with each other, the picnic. A lot of stuff is happening right there, including Doofus and Leia. Not spectacular, but it's still very good. Importance, this is going to surprise a few people. It's going to get a 4. Reason why is because mostly of the Finabella arc, as this is the second episode since Happy Birthday Isabella, as it building on to it. Entertainment as a 5 as always, and it gets a 20 out of 25. Started well in Cheers for Fears, all the way to middle, becoming consistent, and this does well in the end with It's No Picnic. Overall, it's been long, and we finally got here. Cheers for Fears was nominated in 2014 Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Short Format Animated Program. It lost to Mickey Mouse for the episode Oh Solo Mini, as Phineas and Ferb lose another award again. And also, Wonder Over Yonder had its official premiere immediately after this episode on Disney Channel US, which is another show on Disney, which didn't last for too long. Not relating to Phineas and Ferb, the new Avatar movie was leaked on Twitter, as Paramount has been copyright strike video that get posted. Movie doesn't officially release until October the 9th, 2026. And we've seen it all over on Twitter with 10 million views with the full movie, even though it was removed because of copyright. I really hope that Phineas and Ferb, the third movie, doesn't suffer the same fate. Luckily, they don't work for that company, and they work for Disney. Let's hope that Disney makes sure that doesn't happen to that. This summer, as it just announced that Phineas and Ferb apparel will come into box launch later this summer, confirmed by Dan Pover at TikTok and Instagram. Breaking down 10 episodes is a lot, but there are still consistencies that show the glimpse of season 4, even though many have run out of ideas. But they've shown once again that they can still pull magic when it needs to, with the songs, a lot of plots, and the formula connecting. I only watched the season 4 special, even though it's my second favourite season of Phineas and Ferb. I do prefer the 11-minute episodes of season 5 than season 4, because it felt fresh and it started off new. Well, some had very out of idea, but it's still good nonetheless. The next breakdown video will focus on the terrifying tri-state trilogy of terror. Will focus on other side of the horror story and face your fear. Next one will be the Kimberly Ultimatum, and the next one will be the beginning of the end of Phineas and Ferb, as we're closer to getting into the specials now. I will be doing polls when it comes up in my community tab, but until then, hope you have a fantastic day. As always, see ya.